Jericho. People don't remember them. I do. They were very good.
Yes.
Undertaker and Kane. That's, by the way, 30. That's at 36. I finally put Undertaker and Kane.
Right. Yeah.
The Canadians, Beer Money, NWO, the Radicals, the Rockers, the Best Friends, SCU, Mustache Mountain, GYV, Grizzled Young Veterans.
All set.
Fabulous Ones, The Acclaim, Pretty Deadly, The Pretty People, and Kendrick and Perkins.
The beautiful people, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kendrick and Perkins.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Got it?
All set?
The way I'm seeing you, you are still...
It's fine.
Ugly as shit.
Fair enough.
Oh. No, can you see the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what that is, I'm off by a little bit.
Is that in there?
Well, that frame...
It's all good.
It's good.
It's all good. All right. All right. Light this candle, Leroy.
All right. Yeah, it's like, hey, we're streaming for the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Set cameras.
Yeah. No.
Woohoo!
All right. Count me down.
All right. Here we go.
That just reminds me of a certain movie, and I bet you'll stop saying that after I tell you about that movie.
Maybe.
Count
me down.
Count me down.
Count me down.
Coming down. Or here, pilgrim.
Leroy going Wales.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I can see you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, everybody loves us when we do this live, and we're
Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change. We are super excited to be back, all three of us, because, folks, we are now officially the #2 wrestling podcast on Podomatic.com and number 972 overall. It's a big week, it's a fun week, and we got a bunch of new stuff coming your guys' way this summer.
You know what I'll say about that is, thank you, Canada.
Yeah, we love it.
200 downloads from Canada.
We love the Canadians.
Holy crap.
We love the Haps. We really do.
We're really close, and
yeah.
you know, people when they hear us from Duluth, are you part of Canada?
No, super close.
Not. We're
super close there.
We're close. You know, we're about there. You know,
about there. and then Jesse comes in with a Brooklyn accent and everything's like what
you
the
doing,
hell?
I don't understand you people.
Yeah.
Papaya.
Yeah. There we go. All right.
We're having pie.
Papaya. It's healthy for you, man.
Okay.
You could
Come
use
on.
it. You could use it.
No more pie.
All right. So
I need a different kind of pie. That's kind of.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Speaking of pie, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is a big week. A lot of stuff has happened.
And we're live on YouTube again.
Yep, we
We're
are.
trying this. It worked out pretty good last week, so we're trying it again.
Also, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Leroy, of course, we all know from many shows that you are, in fact, a very loving father.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank
you.
One of the best dads I've ever seen.
We have to also say happy Father's Day to Kurt Angle for his son Jason. We have to say it to Eddie Guerrero for his son Dominic.
Yeah.
And, of course, Vince McMahon to his son Hornswoggle. You know, it's a very...
his son Hornswoggle.
It's a very, very important... And
I thought he had a taller kid that, got caught selling weed too.
Who knows? Anyway, but also a wonderful, posthumous Happy Father's Day to Paul Bearer for his two sons who've had great careers throughout their time in WWE.
They're both ugly and deadly, but yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
kids.
I would just say happy Father's Day to all the other dads out there that are listening. We appreciate it, and and we can chop one off the list. We have to give a special Happy Father's Day to a couple guys from AEW.
Oh yes, sadly we have to.
We do. Yes, the only, as he said, the only mixed race.
The first mixed race baby in the history of Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, he didn't
2021. He never said it, but let's be honest, folks. He alluded to it about 7 times.
I don't know what the hell he was getting at.
But anyway, yes, congratulations to Cody Rhodes and his wonderfully lovely wife. And when I say wife, I mean please stay at home and just work on the reality show wife, Brandy Rhodes. On the birth of their wonderful baby girl.
And also, a birth of a baby girl.
Yes.
John Moxley.
And Renee Paquette.
All right.
Had a beautiful baby girl.
We would be remiss if we do not also wish a happy Father's Day to SmackDown's daddy and the daddy himself, the tribal chief, Mr. Roman Reigns.
Yes.
If we are not remiss, since we're supposed to possibly be at SmackDown,
yes,
we may get stacked.
Well, I also would like to point out, as of this past Friday, I think we need to say a happy Father's Day to now Baron Corbin's new daddy, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is not only Corbin's daddy, he's also once again the crowned king of strong style.
Yes.
Although, let's be honest, when he was the artist formerly known as Shinsuke, it was still Shinsuke being Shinsuke. Let's be honest.
And a happy Father's Day to Ray, because I think he's still in the hospital today.
Dominic, I think, is in the bed next to him.
And they get to spend Father's Day together as they're trying to heal from a vicious beating.
Which is exactly what that was, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But since Leroy decided to get some happy Father's Days in on AEW, I say we jump right into some recent AEW news. We also have I'm gonna do this to start. What do you got?
Oh, it didn't work.
He missed his cue to clap.
Oh my God!
Leroy.
It's a live show, everybody. It's a live show. You can tell it's a live show because Leroy's had some technical difficulties this morning. So
I forgot to plug this in. It should have worked.
Oh well. All right.
He missed his cue. He never missed his cue.
There it is. Okay. Well, now we're laughing at the missed cue. We're not laughing at the fact we're at AEW.
Oh, here.
There we go.
So
That's all the daddies.
Yep. I've got some things to get off my chest about AEW this week. And
really?
Yeah. Really? Yep. It's shocking, right? But number one is, can we stop referring to Miro as the undefeated TNT champion? Can we please stop that? I'm serious. It is so annoying. Okay, he's been undefeated since he's been the champ. I get that.
For like 2 months.
How many matches?
A month.
Been about 3 matches?
Yeah, 3 matches.
Yeah, it's been about 3 matches. And I'm sitting here but again, it's interesting because we weren't going to bring this up because it wasn't newsworthy probably until it happened, but we'll just say it. Recently, CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana, backwards anal, there we go.
Thank you. Someone finally threw it out there.
The joke's out of the way. We're good.
Somebody finally threw that out there.
The joke's out of the way. She has announced that she's about to spill the tea on one Vincent Kennedy McMahon II.
Yes.
And I am here to say, folks, if you haven't seen, and if you Grizzly, In the Shadow of Grizzly Smith, you're lucky because my God, is that hard to watch. But folks, Dark Side of the Ring is probably going to do a Vince McMahon story at some point. If you're not about to come out with anything involving like Grizzly Smith level stuff, I don't care. What story about Vince McMahon hasn't been told by everyone who's been pissed by him?
I must be honest though. There's definitely some dark history there.
Well, I mean, no one's going to say that it's not.
His father's word. I mean, hell, he's talked about it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
On Adam Stern's show Howard Stern.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care what that guy's name is, but he talked about it 20 years ago, alluding to the fact that his dad told him when he bought the company from his father, because his father made him buy the company from him. He said, "Do not." Because his father built and cultivated relationships back in the territory days. Yeah. He said, "Do not just run them out of business."
Well, okay.
But Vince has clearly admitted. Yeah. He kind of did.
Well, we were talking off camera, and we talked about this 1,000 times, and I don't think anyone who's actually a real wrestling historian, even Jim Cornette said it himself. A lot of the old territories just died out. Vince. Yeah. Look. We talked about Mark Henry, Christian Cage. Mm-hmm. Paul White, how they all had talks with Vince, and he basically just said, go do what you know you got to do. Yeah. And so they all went and got paid, and they're getting paid to basically do nothing. Christian Cage especially is getting paid to do nothing, even though Christian's actually been in the ring.
To be fair, he was in a cage this week, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but anyway, no. Here's my thing, though, is I think what people need to understand is that Vince took the best talent because he offered more money. He had a bigger syndicated television spot. And by the way, folks, I hate to be that guy, but Joey Styles said it at the first ever ECW One Night Stand about Mike Awesome. Mm-hmm. Nobody was making bad money in the territories, but they made more money with Vince. Mike Awesome went to WCW and basically threw the ECW World Title in the can because Mike Awesome was going to make more money in WCW, but WCW didn't have any idea how to use the talent that Mike Awesome was. But I mean, it's just everybody wants to sit here. And it's ridiculous. And Vince is gonna get a.
It was just the eventual evolution of wrestling.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna it was gonna happen. If it didn't happen that way, we probably wouldn't have wrestling like we have now.
Right.
We wouldn't have the small town ones that next month we're going to be going to.
Yep.
We wouldn't have that.
Well, the territories dominated all those areas. You couldn't run a small independent show in those old areas back then. Yeah, no. There was no way that was ever going to happen.
But yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I'm glad Vince did it. If they do a thing on him,
Well, but here's the deal. What's CJ going to tell us that probably we don't already maybe know? Unless it's this damning, we're going to arrest you type of stuff. I don't care.
Well,
about
everybody
an 80
was of age when he was, if he did something.
Not to mention the fact, it's not like, not to mention the fact, by the way, boys, I got a surprise for both of you. Take a look in the doorway here, boys.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Texas, the Executive Vice President of Marketing, Willie Harris, is on the show, everybody.
You want to get up? Get him over there.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, my God. Everybody's seen this on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube.
Happy Father's Day, my brother.
Father's Day.
All right. So,
Godfather's Day.
Yeah.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah, well, we'll figure that out. All right.
Tighten it up.
Tighten it up there. So I got to tell you guys a quick story. Friday night, I'm recording for my buddy Brad's YouTube page. Mm-hmm. We're recording some Gardic phone videos.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, everyone goes to bed. I gotta be up at 5 a.m. This is like 9 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. She goes, hold on, I need you to stay up a little longer because someone's in town. Someone's in town to see you. And I was just like, okay. So about 30 minutes later, Allison runs downstairs. And what was funny was, she told me to stay away from the window to not see what was coming out. I'm like, first of all, it's black as night out, and look at this guy. You're not going to see him walking up the steps. But
all the more reason to think it's a white guy.
All the more
reason to think it was a white guy. But anyway, Willie comes in. He brought Donovan. He brought your lovely lady. You guys had planned this, a couple months back to just come up and say hi.
That's awesome. Awesome.
But yeah, no, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I don't want to." So
I'm glad he didn't. This is a pleasant surprise.
a genuine reaction from you two.
This was
I also like,
and
it's familiar.
And this is what I have to say.
I also love the fact that doorway. Oh man, how you been, man? How are things?
Oh, fucking awesome.
Well, you moved down to Texas recently.
Yes, sir.
And you are obviously from that area, it's been mentally better for you to just be down there and be away from a lot of the stuff up here.
Oh man, it's done a lot for my mental and physical health, like my leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, the weather is treating me good. Like the city is, for lack of a better word, amazing.
Wow.
The very first thing he told me about was we need to come down just for the smells.
I'm not
really?
I just want to take y'all down truck.
Oh, all we got to do.
That's what I call it. It's
all we gotta do is
straight road.
You're in the Houston area, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All we got to do is jump on I-35.
Suburb.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All you see is these food trucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, my folks,
anybody that gets a chance to come down there, rule of thumb: if the food truck looks horrible, beat up and just not good,
the food's gonna be
good.
good.
Food is 10 to 50 times.
Well,
better.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everyone knows I don't really eat Mexican food.
Yeah.
But everyone also knows I've had Mexican food, but I've never had that version of Mexican food down there in that Texas area, man.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex type Mexican food.
It's not everything's fresh. I mean, when I say everything's fresh, I mean it's fresh. They make the bread right there on the grill in front of you.
Yep.
And oh my God, these places are so inexpensive. I go and I get 3 things off the menu for myself. My kid gets 2, my girl gets 3, my other kid gets 2. And usually up here doing something like that, they're running about $50, $60.
Yeah.
Close to it. Looking about 30.
Yeah, because like you said, they're old, beat up. I mean, it's like you paid the truck.
That's just the thing. Like
they're just
these trucks are just there, and the people that own them. This guy, the main truck that I go to, he has 2 trucks, and by having these 2 trucks in the span of 2 years, he became a millionaire.
Oh yeah, no,
that's how good his food is.
Yeah.
And he's open every day except for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
like talk to him. He's the nicest guy ever, and he spends $96,000 a year on police security for his trucks.
Oh yeah,
that's how good his food is.
Wow.
Like they stay open until like 2.
Oh, he's probably like making sure
awesome.
bar closes. He's everywhere.
Oh yeah, like they leave the bar early to get there.
Oh yeah,
like I'm not even kidding. I went there on a Saturday instead of going to the bar, and they had like a 2-mile line.
Wow.
Like on the side of the road, like the shoulders backed up for 2 miles.
It's interesting. Wow. The internet likes to make fun of Guy Fieri, but then again, he makes most of the jokes himself. He creates them. But he'll bring you to a place that, let's be honest, the food's probably better than any 5-star fine dining place you're gonna find.
Without a doubt.
Because by definition, his show is comfort food.
Oh yeah.
By definition, his show is going to give you food that is just like on another level. It's a place that like maybe sees 40, 50 people a day, and all of a sudden, I mean, the very first place Guy Fieri ever did Diners, Drive-Ins, they had to add a whole nother dining area because the place just blew up. You can get all of it. There we go. All right. But anyway,
well, we can tell your friends too. This is gonna be live on YouTube.
We are. We're live.
Yeah,
we're live on YouTube right now.
On the YouTubes.
I don't look like this naturally.
So anyway,
I'm not actually well put together.
It's an interesting thing that Willie is here because we were just about to talk about literally the biggest dumpster fire in wrestling, which is All Elite Wrestling.
Well, let's get into it.
Leroy,
would you like some
baked goods are still here?
Cinnamon bread.
There's always cinnamon bread.
Oh yes, I'm gonna grab that in a second.
Yeah. But anyway,
imperfect foods. They bring stuff.
Here's the sad part.
What are we going to start with?
Well, let's start with the fact that once again, okay, Willie's gonna know this name because we all know this name. Willie, I say Brian Pillman. You know who I'm talking about, right? Flying Brian.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have to say it twice, but anyway.
No.
So I don't know if you know this. His son, Flying Brian Jr., is in AEW. Now, his dad's Dark Side of the Ring 2-part episode. It's been out now for like a couple of months on Vice, right?
Yeah.
They've literally done nothing with him since then. They've buried him 3 times. They have destroyed Brian Pillman Jr. on television.
By the way, there's the number 1 ranked taxi again.
Oh, God.
It's really simple. There's a simple reason for that. Like, your dad has something out about him, and that's gotten more attention, and that's more popular than your entire company and fan base put together.
Oh, no. No.
Not only that, it's, do you really want to bring that type of attention to yourself based off somebody who's done so much more in a different one? Then you're gonna have his son here, and y'all put him in matches and give him a chance to shine.
Which is funny because your cousin, Mark Henry, is now in AEW. No. He's getting paid a lot of money. He's getting paid a lot of money. Oh, by the way, guess what? He's also an analyst. He's not even actually wrestling.
Look at him. He's old. Do you really think he's going to start wrestling?
I would hope.
You know what? Honestly,
he's going to slam somebody and then fall on him because he's going to
slam half that roster. He's going to slam half that roster and break them. Look how small. Mark Henry. Mark Henry's never been known as a tall guy, but obviously he's wide because he was a weightlifter. But folks, Mark Henry's bicep is bigger than half the tag team division in AEW.
Probably.
It's ridiculous.
It's like dropping a nuclear bomb on an anthill.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it was.
Bring in somebody that big, he better be holding the microphone.
I think that the one good thing about having him there is he can work with the big guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
he can also spot talent.
He's a great spotter of talent.
By the way, Mark on the most recent A&E WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, watching Mark break down over a man he never really met in Andre the Giant.
Well, yeah.
That was so anyway, they went searching for Andre's machine mask from when he was in Japan.
Oh, jeez.
And they actually found 2 of them.
Yeah.
But they found was the original with Sonny or was the original with the lady that had the museum? I actually hadn't seen the
man. The original might have actually been with Sonny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, I know Mark was angry. I know Big Show was angry. I know that France, I forget his name. He's on the show as well. I know they're all mad, but like, was anybody really surprised that Sonny Ono was going to try to put that thing up for auction? It's Sonny Ono. I mean, come on. Yeah. Look at his character. I mean, look. We've always learned the best characters imitate real life. Sonny's character was great because that was Sonny Ono.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's always been trying to make an extra buck.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, Flying Brian's been absolutely buried. Rusev is now there, known as Miro.
By his actual name, yeah.
Yeah, so his actual name. He's supposedly...
It ain't good anyway.
Yeah. But you want to know why? You want to know why? He showed up, and he started working with a 5'8" white dude from Britain and his fiancée. He was the best man at the wedding. We all know how wrestling weddings work.
Never well.
And then he beat up the groom, and now he's
his best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, his best friend, and now he's a psycho who came out to help the bride, even though he's the undefeated TNT champion. He's had 3 matches since he's had the TNT title, and they're gonna be on TBS in a year.
Is TBS that desperate?
No. TNT bought. TNT realized this show's averaging 800,000 on Wednesdays. Now they're on Friday nights because of the NBA playoffs. Because you and I both know the NBA playoffs are going to draw a much better number than 800,000.
Not really, because they've had a bunch of injuries, and we're to the point where who cares?
He's not wrong.
Sports Illustrated on Snapchat is way more interesting than watching the actual game.
Well, but last night,
highlights and funny comments. In the game, you get people whining, crying, and flopping. If I wanted that, I'd go and visit one of my nephews or nieces.
Well, folks, last night, the best heel team in the NBA got eliminated. So no one.
And I watched that last shot. I was like, boop. I'm like,
airball.
What? I don't know how that was.
I'll be on Jesse's thing here to talk about Kevin
Durant.
Durant.
The guy, by the way, you guys said is better than LeBron. I can't believe it.
No, he's not better than LeBron. At least LeBron's hairline came back. KD's nappy and going bald.
It's awful.
He said his hairline came back.
For real. LeBron's hairline had a better comeback than KD's career.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. All right, put money on this. We're going to find out a week after LeBron James finally retires, he's going to finally admit that he has a Just for Men sponsorship. Y'all know he's going to do it.
Or he got a little work done because that thing's been receding since he was 18.
Nah. He's got one of them lace fronts.
A little patch.
We're going to hit number 2 again this week. We are number 2 on the Podomatic for wrestling.
What?
This last week, yes. We hit
972 overall on the whole website.
All right, well, who's number 1? I can Nancy Kerr get somebody.
I looked at. I was checking them out. They have like shows on like every day almost.
Yeah.
So they got that one in their mom's basement.
Well, we all have lives.
If we just start getting paid for this only and make millions, then we could do the same.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna live in my mom's basement. You might live in my basement because that's where my studio will be.
You know what? I'd say this.
As long as you feed me twice a day.
Twice. You're cheap.
You're really cheap.
Open the door and just shove stuff down, goes down. Oh, food.
He's gonna start rubbing his cup on the wall. Like,
I have to put a shower down. I have to make sure he showers too because I don't want to go down there and smell.
Just run a water hose through the window.
By the way, Willie, we already talked about it on the show, but some other big news. Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes had the first interracial baby in the history of Atlanta, Georgia.
That's not true.
I don't think he's been privy to
I have a bunch of cousins that have been to Atlanta, and they have met a bunch of white chicks, and I know none of them have a good
There's a couple of them.
All right. I love explaining this on the show because I'm explaining it to you.
All right, let's put it this way: the famous interracial baby.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, Cody Rhodes is no longer speaking to the Young Bucks, even though they're all executive vice presidents. They're not on speaking terms. They actually build the show through a group chat on their text messages. That's how they book the show now.
And why are they not on speaking terms?
because the Bucks want to do stupid, happy-go-lucky gymnastics, and Cody wants to do real wrestling.
And Kenny Omega can't book a women's division, and he's probably the worst champion I've ever seen.
We'll get to that, Jesse.
Well, he has had a
I still stick with my original statement. They need to start bringing back more luchadors, because if you want to do that, you can put them in a division where it's mostly luchadors.
Well, they have the two best luchadors maybe in America, and they can't do shit with
But
them.
that's the whole thing. You need more luchadors. You do that old school luchador, no tag, jump in, drop kick, body slam over the rope wrestling.
I don't know if you've heard, MLW, Major League Wrestling, not only is Fusion on Vice now, they are bringing back Lucha Underground.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm tapping.
Oh, they're bringing
Yep, MLW
is bringing back Lucha Underground.
And remember, WWE has the partnership with MLW.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's gonna be
But anyway, we have to explain this because Willie's the ultimate person to react to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
So, Willie.
Okay.
Cody got into a feud with QT Marshall, who they both had a wrestling school, right? Mm-hmm. QT took a couple of students. One of those students is a former boxer, actually pretty good one.
Golden Glove boxer.
Golden Glove boxer. His name is Anthony Ogogo.
And yes, dude from UK.
And yes, he's a half black dude from the UK. We've already used "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" jokes for about 3 weeks now. We're out of them.
I may have a few more left.
But anyway, Anthony, please wake me up from this yo-yo of a storyline.
Before you go.
Before you go. So
y'all didn't go with Go-Go Gadget?
Oh, damn it! I missed that one.
I knew we had one.
I missed a couple.
To be fair, Andrew from Wham has not been talked this much about since George Michael died. But anyway, so Anthony Ogogo actually punches Cody in the stomach, knocks him out, drapes the British flag over him. And then we don't see Cody for 2 weeks, because why would we? And then Cody comes back and cuts a promo that Brandy called one of the greatest promos of all time, except it didn't make any sense, because it started with, apparently we are now mad at the British.
The British are
we
coming.
we brought up 2 Italian immigrants that we still haven't figured out.
Mario and Luigi?
Probably.
Could be,
Anthony Ogogo is apparently an anti-American guy, even though he's never said anything bad about America. No. This is all true, by the way. Apparently, Cody is also trying to talk about how racially divided America is, even though he's fighting a half-black guy from the UK. Anthony Ogogo was apparently not the one oppressed in this situation.
All right, time out.
We're not even halfway through.
I still have to drop my 2 cents about a British guy. Take this how you want it, but I will never, ever, in the history of ever in my life, be able to take a British person serious when I'm out. You want some eats, yeah? I box you up, yeah? You want some of we can take you some pieces of course, like
what?
Like, dude, you sound like a hood person of Mary Poppins. Sit your ass down and drink some tea with him.
Hey, get your crumpets, bro. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm about to crush your crumpets in this bitch.
So that happens.
Oh my goodness.
Now the best part, we bring up, and this is still Cody's promo, right? He brings up a 16-year-old Pakistani kid with a dream about car bumpers.
The owner's father.
I thought you were going to say car bombers.
No, because...
Not that kind.
No. Because remember, Shad Khan, who ultimately owns this shit, he made his money from car bumpers.
Yeah.
So the owner gets brought up. We don't know why. Seriously, no. Okay, this whole time, we don't know why Cody's saying this. We haven't seen him in 2 weeks. He also brings up the fact that he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. It used to be segregated, and he doesn't want his soon-to-be daughter, who's not alive yet at the point of this promo, to think that her dad was okay with that. But again, he made it sound like he and Brandy were having the very first interracial baby in the history of Atlanta. Willie's already proven that's not true. But the whole promo was like, it was his dad versus the Russians, but we're not mad at England since 1815?
Okay, I just want to go back to this whole interracial baby thing.
Sure, yeah.
His like, bro, I cannot let this.
They have the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
Yes.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
And the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
If you think anybody from any one of those teams didn't drop some dick off and some white chick on an away game, you are sadly
So,
and he wants to run for.
We'll be fair to him there.
Whatever. He still looks funny when he runs.
He's not wrong.
It's like a duck and skinny.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Oh my
That's
God.
a prime example.
Oh,
I'm gonna put a
shit.
parental advisory on board
But
on
anyway,
this
so then Cody and Ogogo finally have a match. Now, if you watch wrestling for any amount of time, don't you think Ogogo should get like a quick victory over Cody to set up another match?
Yeah, you always want to leave the people wanting more. So if anything, you start the match and then you do a Super Bowl move where it gets really climactic and the lights go out and then somehow both of them are down in the ring unconscious. So that leaves you to lead to the next part of,
There
you
you
know,
go.
the next part of the
That's a
series.
great idea.
Basically, that's exactly
who
what
came in?
did
Who
happen.
did something? Who hit him?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Good
who
news.
did this?
Good news. You just described everything that did not happen.
This is
All the more
AEW.
reason to make me in.
A booker down there? Yeah.
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 I've come up with so many good events. Like they want to bring that up about him being the bumper king. Junkyard match, old school. Throw it out there where it's like
I gotta be honest.
Oh, yeah.
all rules
I don't-
go out the window. Hardcore junkyard.
Oh, they
match.
already do that, but they
And
don't
you
do it
throw
well.
each other up
They had
against
exploding-
cars, and then he wins the match by hitting somebody with an old metal bumper.
They had
After the death match, I would never trust.
they had
anything
an exploding
like
barbed wire match.
Ever.
Ooh,
And-
that's pretty.
No, actually,
No.
the ending looked like Gilbert's entrance. It was basically streamers. That's all it was.
No, but this one there's nothing electric or anything like that.
No, I
It's
know.
just old rusty
I'd
car
love to
parts.
see
You
an
get
old
to slam
junkyard
somebody
match.
into
You
a
see, but the
windshield,
problem with them, I
slam
think,
somebody's head in the car door. Who hasn't wanted to do that?
but I
It's
think
Father's Day. You have kids. I know you want.
but here's the
Some
thing,
might feel like you do that too.
with them, and I'm at this point, I can't believe I'm gonna say it. With them, it would turn into a joke match.
That's the point.
But it would be too jokey for it to like people to actually
yeah.
care.
Okay,
Now
now
here's the thing.
now,
Even if it's too jokey to care, some people still took Carrot Top seriously. So
Well, sure.
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
Willie,
there's a chance.
he was actually funny though.
What's really
Looking.
okay, now we have to explain. Now we have to explain the biggest botch so
I have
far.
totally
up to-
something against Carrot Top.
Uh-oh.
He's
I was
ginger.
No, I was trying to get a piece of ass and he stopped it. Fucking pissed me off.
Why have you never told this story? We have a microphone. Go!
Yes.
Hold on.
Go!
I don't even know if I want to hear this because you got cock blocked by a ginger who looks like a lesbian on steroids.
That's why we want to hear the story.
Unfortunately,
All right,
yeah.
bring it.
All right, come on.
No, I was just with the girlfriend.
You want to get to number one? This is how you get
This
to
is how
number
we do
one.
it.
This is
I was just with my girlfriend at the time, and we were just, enjoying, the moment. And
you weren't just cock blocked. You had your girlfriend stolen by this lesbian.
She
No,
gave
no, it
Carrot Top.
no, it was on TV.
I like that. That was good.
It was on. He was on TV, and I was trying, and she was laughing too hard. It sucked. I just boom.
No, there is no
Ended.
such thing. I know this premise because I've used this as my move. Chicks love the funny guy. It's like, ha ha ha, oh shit, I'm naked.
Well, that works for me. Anyway.
It was the naked part that actually ruined everything.
I think Carrot Top was funnier.
That's a
Even
set.
me being naked, he was more funny.
Well, good news. He hasn't done anything in like 7 years.
Yeah, I know.
I
Thank
think-
God.
Doesn't he have freckles?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, he probably does.
I stopped-
He's
Like,
Stop
I'm
there.
sorry, but I can't think of anything funnier than having him at a party, getting him drunk till he falls asleep, playing Connect the Dots.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like, seriously, it's like one of those paint by numbers everywhere.
I also want to point something. out. Willie, I'm also now about to tell you the worst booking of 2021 is so they took Chris Jericho's group, the Inner Circle, and they now have another group called the Pinnacle. It's MJF, but he's got like FTR in there. He's got Jack Swagger. He's got the chairman, who I can never remember because I don't care.
Well,
the name
whatever,
of.
whoever.
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears.
Okay.
So Willie, here's the deal. If you have two groups against each other, would you normally do a booking where each individual calls out the other sort of mirror individual from the other side, the leader, the henchman, the tag team? They would all, the heavies would call each other out. Would you do that?
No.
Well, hold on a second. Would you do that before War Games? Or would you do War Games first?
No. Here's what I would do. I would make it seem like everything was just like Bad Blood. Mm-hmm. There's no interaction.
Yeah.
And then War Games.
Well,
once they get a chance.
Pause. We have no interaction. We have to throw out the first 3 weeks of this whole thing.
All right. We'll leave in those little here and there interactions.
No. You keep going because I'm already enjoying it more than what happened.
Once it comes up to that, it's a big match. And when I say it's a big match, I mean somebody's gonna get a belt. And just as he's getting ready to pin it, boom. He comes out of nowhere, slides from under the ring, old school honky tonk man. Whack, straight to the back of the noggin, El Cabron, or a banjo, or something that's symbolizes something of the group, and just screw them over, and then wake the referee up and make him fast tap before your crew can get out, and they just watched you lose. You get to raise the hand of the person that beat your group, flip everybody off, and walk out.
Okay, here's what. Okay,
yes. They didn't even close.
I'm going to say
here's what they did.
The person that you're going against, they don't even get a chance to end up being the Bad Blood, meaning they get a little bit more publicity just because you came out on their side.
That was better than what happened.
That brings up even more frustration between the two groups, which is going to pull that middle individual in, where it brings in some more talent that doesn't have a lot of airtime. You get to pull them in to help out the individual when he gets sucker punched by the ones that got you.
Yeah.
I want to watch this now.
It's a win-win for everybody.
That's the way they should have done it.
That's feuding. That's rivalry.
Guess what?
That's classic.
Guess what?
Screw you when you're not looking.
Guess what? Here's what
not literal.
I feel like we're about to do the movie Clue with the multiple endings. Here's what really happened.
Old school alternate endings. You can't go see that one.
Somebody
buy the DVD.
Where he said it was
somebody
good.
Bring in Tim Curry.
Well,
anyway,
the way he said it was good. The way it happened is like you're going to Arkansas and you meet this hot chick, and then you find out it's like your sister or your cousin. Just not good.
I'm your sister.
All right. So Willie, here's what happened.
After the fact.
Here's what happened. They did War Games as the very first meeting between these two.
Stupid.
War Games was live on free television, not pay-per-view. The first hour and a half was taped for a live audience, and then they did War Games, which and also it was so poorly done. You saw everybody actually take the blades out of their tights. There was a point where Chris Jericho was in an armbar, right? Which is awkward for Chris Jericho being in an armbar. He's master of the armbar. Anyway, Chris Jericho's got his left arm is being ripped apart by MJF. His right hand is stuck like this. Okay? Because he's trying to hide the fact that he's got the blade in his hand that he's going to cut himself with. And this is on camera. The camera guy's focusing on Jericho this whole time. Jericho's hand isn't out like he's gonna, submit or anything, because the rules where you have to just give up. You can't just submit. But Jericho's hand isn't out trying to, rip himself off from the cage or grab MJF. No, it's in a fist because he's holding the blade.
I'm sorry, but the only thing I can think is if somebody's got me in an armbar and I got a blade in my hand, I'm gonna stab you in the stomach.
Also the match. The match.
Look at me, little fucking.
The match ends with Jericho.
That's all I have to say there.
I miss you, New Jack. I miss you so much.
Oh my God.
So the match ended. War Games ended with them pushing Jericho off of the cage into not only cardboard boxes that were painted to look like steel,
but clearly there was bedding underneath.
There was a crash pad that you actually heard deflate on television.
Yeah.
This is why we love AEW.
Because they are just so bad at what they do.
You know what? I still
and
think
I say that with a smile.
They should just
stop doing what they're doing.
If they're gonna do it and make it that corny, they might as well do it almost like trampoline wrestling. Like seriously, how they came out with slam ball and everybody thought it was a joke, but you got to see people jumping on a trampoline getting taken out in midair.
That was kind of
trampoline wrestling. Just go ahead.
They already are trampoline wrestling
match.
No, without the trampoline.
They're without the trampoline.
Just make trampoline wrestling and make your referees Trish Stratus and anybody from Baywatch that's not David fucking
Trish Stratus is too smart to work for this company.
Yeah. He's big in Germany.
He's also a guy.
He's got hair on his titties. I don't know about you, but that's not my cup of tea.
All I'm saying, if this was Russia, it's not like it would matter. Sorry, Russia, I had to throw that joke in there.
We already make fun of their vodka.
We should.
That's vodka. I thought it was just ethanol gasoline. Same thing, dude.
If you can light it on fire,
not the Kharkov. The Kharkov's not good.
We might get a hit in Russia now.
We already have a couple.
I know, but we're picking on them.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
not the type of hit in Russia that I want.
That's fair. Yes. And then after that, it's time for another big match. Stadium Stampede. They wrestle throughout the Jaguars Stadium.
Yeah. But that was taped.
Which was taped, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
They had Urban Meyer and Charlie Strong actually.
You said Jaguar Stadium, and I saw nothing interesting. There's never been anything interesting in Jaguar Stadium.
There were as many fans in Daly's Place that night than there will be in the Jaguar Stadium all year.
All right, I put it like.
Well, then recently, Trevor actually might bring some people in.
It's Tim Tebow that's going to make the squad.
Oh God, Tim
Tebow. If Trevor Lawrence throws a touchdown pass to Tim Tebow, forget ESPN. You won't be able to watch any sports network for a week. If Tim Tebow catches a touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence.
I'm trying to think of the right way to describe this, but I'm still stuck on the Jackson Stadium. It's like putting a glory hole in a leper colony.
Yeah,
you literally bit off more than you can.
Just a little.
Only about 10 feet.
Oh, that's funny.
So anyway,
they say just a teep, you can keep it.
So anyway, Chris Jericho's group won that.
Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede fuckery. By the way, good news. Conan was actually there as a DJ.
Yeah.
I have no words.
I saw it live.
DJ Conan. Yeah.
I was like, what?
I didn't see it live.
I didn't see it live either. Why would I pay for this pay-per-view when guess what? It's on YouTube for 3 days afterwards because they forget to take it down.
That's
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I really, really, really wish Eddie Guerrero were still alive.
Oh my God, yes.
Me, if I had the chance, I'd be Vince McMahon just for a day. And I'd wait till it was one of their really big events, and I'd find some of my best wrestlers to come out there and just hit their people with chairs. Like they're in the middle of an interview, boom, chair.
To be fair to Willie,
you just won the championship.
To be
chair.
To be fair to Willie, that's how every interview in
buff
AEW
lady
ends.
walking up. Chair.
That's how every interview in AEW ends. Is somehow somebody gets hit with a chair. We call it the afterbirth on the show. We call it the placenta because every match has an afterbirth.
There's nothing good about it. It's all messy.
Either that or kendo stick bunny.
They have a bunny. They have a bunny.
She'll use a kendo stick.
Do you know the kendo stick bunny
story? That was in our JDX interview.
I haven't seen
They're in the middle of the interview. I'm holding the camera, and dude like's walking by with the kendo stick, and I see the other dude with the bunny hat, and I'm like,
he sneaks in behind Leroy.
So they're talking to JDX, and they're not paying any attention to what's going on around them.
No, Justin and I saw it.
Yeah.
Justin and I saw it. He never saw it. Justin and I keep a straight face the whole time.
With the kendo stick and just lean in and just like rub it on his cheek and then
He didn't touch it. He just leaned. I watched it.
He just leaned into the video ominously.
And you want to know something? Justin still wants to work with us after that. So Justin loved it. By the way, shout out to Justin. He fell short of becoming the first ever Black Wrestlers Matter champion.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're going to get the next one, homie.
JC, shout out to JC, obviously won.
Big
Great
ups.
match. Folks, if you don't know, Black Wrestlers Matter did have another issue with their live stream. They are offering refunds at their website.
Why? Because somebody didn't pay their cable bill?
Well, it was in Iowa, I think.
I'm about to say, I think it was more so the venue issue.
Who wants to go to Iowa?
It's cheap.
Well, it was a good wrestling show.
If you want cheap, go to India.
$50.
$50, you get a whole state.
So I was surprised that they went to Iowa this time because I think they booked this pre everything reopening up.
Right, yeah.
Arizona would have been the perfect place.
I think Arizona would have been better.
Yeah. You could have did an outdoor venue under a canopy and just did it old school, like when they had the wrestling match where they had it raining and it was Yokozuna, Heartbreak Kid, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but like I said,
they're missing out on some of the old school stuff that makes.
I think they ended up pre-booking this before February.
It was,
happened, yeah.
It was because because Justin
threw the pooch on that one.
Justin's been promoting that.
For a while. So.
Okay.
Justin, by the way, just keeps getting better in the ring. I love JDX every time I say you watched him during Fortune Mania too.
Oh hell yeah!
And you were just like, where has this guy been?
Like, why ain't he on everybody's television?
He was in NXT for one match, but that was so early on. I don't think anyone saw him have. I didn't even talk.
JDX, I've never understood why he's been under the radar for this long. Because he's so damn good.
Oh, he's so good, and he's just so got the perfect stage presence. Yeah. Too. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the camera, like, whether
you love when he came out
in character or not. And he's just...
ACH has always been a little over cocky, and yet he gets more shine.
Like, he's...
sorry.
He's just so smooth, though.
That dickhead actually retired. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
But, JD, I'm like, because I've seen quite a few now. Probably.
Okay, by the way, this was so to tell the story of Fortune Mania, Willie was there because Jason mixed up the days of when he worked. So Jason couldn't go. Although we found out once we got to the casino, Jason could have gone. But Willie's already there. Willie saw.
Thanks, Jason.
Willie saw Greg the Hammer Valentine, Sting. Honky Tonk Man was there. You saw all those guys.
Yeah.
But when JDX came out, you all of a sudden dropped your jaw. I was like, who is this motherfucker, and why did I not know about him earlier?
Exactly. He's that good.
Yeah.
He comes out.
Well, because the first time I ever
he plays with his entrance music to like roll the wrist like Culpepper used to do, and then he does the Wakanda thing. It's like everything about his presence is just.
Because he did a tryout match at MLW some years ago, and that was really good, and I was shocked they didn't pick him up.
What I don't understand is that, and again, it's not the black thing, because they took Airwolf.
Yeah.
They took
Airwolf?
MLW took Airwolf.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then Dante and...
his brother.
And his brother...
are in AEW now.
They're in AEW. They're on Dark a lot, actually.
Well, Dante's been on Dark a lot since the brother is injured.
Yeah.
Dante will actually be on Dynamite this week.
Yeah. But anyway, they're actually...
I think it'll be a good
They've been
match.
featured a lot on the YouTube pages of
AEW,
which, by the way...
We're going to get into that.
Oh, yeah. We might as well by the way, Eric Cannon was on Dark.
Yes, he was.
I did see that.
Eric Cannon was on Dark. But by the way, we're
and they made Eric look good.
Yeah.
Because he didn't take the loss.
No, he did not.
He got a lot of the heat on the babyface tag team. I can't remember who it was now.
Well, but Eric.
Oh, actually, sorry. It was our guy. It was our guy Eddie Kingston. He was able to get the heat on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they I think they actually like Eric a lot. Well, but he might be out. He might be down there pretty soon.
But Eric's been funneling them talent for like the last couple. When the pandemic hit, all of a sudden Top Flight goes down.
Yeah.
Dante's with his brother. They take the mask off.
Quick story. So apparently, AEW.
Darius. Sorry.
AEW got the jump. So WWE came calling.
Yeah.
But AEW got them booked first.
Yeah.
And so after their quote unquote tryout match.
Yeah.
They just offered them the contract really quick.
Yeah.
So as much as people want to give Vince heat for hoarding talent, I feel like that's what they literally did that to the brothers. So
why wouldn't you hoard talent?
But that's the thing.
But Vince has been getting crap about
Vince
it.
Gets,
because
Vince
they're all like,
Vince
isn't using this person, he's not using that person.
Look, everybody has something to say about Vince, but if you look at it, Vince is a smart man. He knows what person he wants to put in what light and when he's going to put him there. Like, look at all the stuff
I just watched the Dark Side of the Ring Ultimate Warrior. As much as people didn't like him backstage, don't tell me that wasn't the perfect time for Vince to pull the trigger on Ultimate Warrior, put him out there. Because, he made a lot of money off the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He made a lot of money off the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior didn't make as much, but that's because he's an idiot. But anyway,
or maybe his wife took it.
Who knows?
Roy Rage Robbie was fun.
But anyway, so now
God rest your soul, bro.
We're gonna give Willie the timeline of what's now happening.
Go for it.
As of 2022, the Dynamite, which is their main show for AEW, is going to be on TBS instead of TNT because they got the hockey rights. Because obviously hockey's more entertaining than Dynamite. But anyway,
anywhere that you get to hit somebody in the face repeatedly and then leave them bloody while you skate off with your hands up, you get my money.
So they're moving to TBS, which is which by the way we
It's
predicted.
a comedy network.
Oh, it's a comedy network.
We totally predicted that.
Also,
That's not on ridiculousness.
AEW Wrestling.
AEW Wrestling. So funny story. Now they've also added another hour of TV, not the Dynamite, but on Fridays they call it Rampage because they're video game nerds. I love Rampage, but
not enough to call my wrestling show that.
No. So they have Dark, which is on for about 2 or 3 hours every Monday night on YouTube.
Correct.
They have AEW Dark Elevation, which is on Tuesdays on YouTube.
Correct.
They have Dynamite, which will go back to Wednesdays on TBS, and then Rampage will be for an hour on TBS or TNT on soon.
Yeah.
That's on Friday nights after SmackDown, so everyone watches 2 hours of the best wrestling show on the planet, Roman Reigns, Chief, and all of a sudden you want me to go to Rampage and watch Kenny Omega? No thanks. Anyway.
Hey. It's the best way I can describe it is like, get done, you and your lady had a really good time. You were actually good at it. She enjoyed it. She wants to stay over, cuddle. That's what's not like.
That's what Rampage is for.
After you get the money shot, Rampage.
Yes. So anyway,
I like that.
Back to my point. I did say that I was going to do this last week. I did, Jesse. So here's the deal. We talk about Leroy sitting. Leroy knows Eric Cannon. You know Eric Cannon. You saw Eric Cannon beat Darren Corbin at WrestleMania. So you have all this talent available to you that's been coming in the last couple of weeks, and you say Vince doesn't feature these people, blah blah blah. But you signed 86 wrestlers 2 years ago. 56 of them have not been on Dynamite yet.
No.
What?
So you want to sit here and tell me that you have more television time than Vince does? More YouTube time.
Wait. They're on the roster. They're still getting paid, but they're not getting any matches?
No.
Yeah.
And some of them 5 figures.
So you mean they get paid 5 figures to sit on the bench?
And of the
Somebody give me a Speedo.
And of the 56 who still haven't been on Dynamite, 20 of them haven't even ever been on Dark Elevation.
Like I said, give me a Speedo and some tights. I'm dyeing my hair.
All you have to do is go to the Bucks and say, you think you're the best team, that's cool, and I hate Vince, and the Bucks will tell Tony to give you a $100,000 contract.
I will lose every match. In style.
But anyway.
If you put me on a pay-per-view, I'll squeeze out a tear.
But here's the thing, folks.
For 100 G's, yeah.
Jesse, you think about all the talent that they already had, but they're not using. Your boy Chucky T.
Wasted in AEW.
Wasted because here's the deal.
Trenton is not wasted.
Well, but here's the deal. Trent was out for almost a year.
Yeah.
And Chucky T, who's one of the best guys you say on the indie scene, he doesn't get a single match on Dark. Elevation, no match. He's on Dynamite as the butler for Miro.
And then, had a match against Miro, but was basically kind of dominated in it.
Yeah. So for all the people out there on the message boards who say AEW is doing a better job than than Vince, I'm sitting here looking at people like, okay, here's the deal. You're mad that Vince is hoarding talent. You're mad that Vince has too many people. He cuts a bunch of people. You're all mad about that. But AEW cuts someone, we don't hear about it.
Yeah.
They don't use someone, we don't hear about it. They use someone, but they use them like shit, we don't hear about it. It's like, again, the hopamine will not go away from these people.
Well, it already has. So.
Well, not enough.
When
you have over 10 hours of YouTube and national television, and you feature 30 people weekly. But here's the deal. It's 30 plus because you keep bringing in more people. What about the people that are getting paid to literally, by the way, they're paying half the wrestlers to be paid fans so that when they do their stupid shit where they fly over the ropes like RVD and Sabu used to do, they're not hitting people that are going to sue them. They're hitting actual talent. Now, no ECW fan was going to sue if Sabu ended up in the lab.
That was a part of the show. You loved it.
If that happened, I'd be like, yes!
Oh, my God.
From the wrestler standpoint, I don't see a problem with that. I'm getting paid. Yeah, I'm not getting the exposure that I want to. Yeah, I'm not getting to jump off the ring ropes and elbow drop somebody.
But is that smart if you're the owner paying them?
I was about to say, here's the thing. They just finally hit the red.
With the owner, you don't have to be smart. You got the money.
Well, Well,
actually, with the wrestler, you don't have to be the owner.
Do we have to tell you the news that came out from there? AEW right now is in the red.
They're in the red
trying to develop
because they can't develop their own video game correctly.
Who wants to develop a video game when All right.
Second year in.
Is your video game gonna come out with the cartoon noises? Or are you gonna make it like wacky and comical, like the old WWF wrestling on Sega when that came out? Nice. With Doink the Clown and all of them?
Doink was awesome.
Oh, yeah, Doink was
awesome.
I miss Doink.
Hell yeah.
He lives up here.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm still trying to work on getting him on.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the original Doinks is actually living up in this area.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But anyway,
I still want to see Funny Bone again.
He's coming.
What?
We're going to a show, actually.
July 11th in Clare, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going down to Eau Claire.
Of course I had to plan to come up here.
MAW's got a lot of shows coming up. Also, we're going to be meeting Mark. He's going to be at one of the MAW shows. Along with Kelly. We're going to get a nice little fun time with her.
When I meet Mark Henry, I will have met and have a picture with every single original member of the Nation of Domination.
He will.
I'm very proud of myself for that.
Hey, that is something.
Little white boy is.
And no, but D'Lo did tell us a funny little story about wrestling, about Wrestlers Court. That was kind of
him and Mr. Anderson. Yes.
Ken's there, and it's funny. Ken was there. Ken was totally cool with us too. Ken was just like, yeah, no.
Boy here.
Yeah, so he had a mantle toe.
Yeah.
That's enough right there. Can you keep a straight face by seeing that?
No, you can't. But anyway, so they're trying to develop a video game because Kenny is a video game nerd, but Japan was never going to do that.
Of course.
And so he's trying to get a video game, which, by the way, the early footage makes him look a lot bigger than he actually is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looks like the Ultimate Warrior in it, even though in reality Kenny Omega is like twice as skinny as I am.
Oh no.
And he's looking like Ultimate Warrior in that footage.
They had a video game out of New Japan, and he was in it.
But see, New Japan actually did it like a sports-based game because they've always presented themselves as a sports-based product.
But I'm like, you're 2 years in. Do you really need a video game?
Here's my thing. Get into video games. Just get a contract with somebody. Well, the SmackDown games are really doing.
They should do like EA Sports, $20 for football, blowing them out in numbers every time.
Yeah.
And the product wasn't even that good. It was just the fact of
they're paying Jericho probably $1 million.
Yeah.
Mark Henry, I guarantee you, is at least $6.
He's got to be making close to
Mark's got to be a 7-figure contract. There's no way. They're paying Big Show to be a 7-figure contract, and all he does, Paul White, I apologize, no more BS. You can't use BS. There's no more BS in Paul White.
He's not the Big Show.
Christian Cage is now in AEW as an active wrestler. He's probably making $1 million.
He's got to be making $1 million.
Sting is also there, except Sting is not doing much and probably getting paid twice as much as all of them.
Because Sting is old as hell.
He's wrestling. Cool. A bunch of tiny people that couldn't hurt him with a baseball bat.
That's the point. He's not going to throw his hip out.
Shit, I don't even think it's about his hip anymore. It's more about his damn neck.
He's a 61-year-old with a...
62.
Well, yeah, he's 62 now. He's 62 with a bad neck, and he's out there wrestling guys who put themselves in body bags and thumbtacks for a living. This is an actual thing that happened. They filled a body bag with thumbtacks and then stuffed Sting's tag team partner into it.
And dragged him.
And then dragged him around.
If they're going to do it like that, they might as well just do like they did in the Jason movie. Stuff 2 people in a sleeping bag and beat it against them.
I'm surprised Darby hasn't come up with it.
I was about to say.
Hey, just saying, if you put that on your show, I want my credit. Nothing too extravagant, like 30,000.
TNT will then probably put them on at midnight and then no one will watch.
Well, here's the other part is, Willie, now because of the NBA playoffs and, of course, TNT, sports network of Turner, they put them on Friday. They're 9 to 11 on Friday. They used to average, like I said, about 750 to 800,000 on Wednesdays, right? No matter what they did, they could do whatever they wanted. When they brought on Mike Tyson, they got $1 million. When they brought on the big Shaq, they got $1 million. Yeah. But here's the deal: Friday nights, they're barely averaging 430,000.
All right. Well, here's the one thing. I think that if they really wanted to do it and come out of the red, something they could do is get a super heel. Find somebody that everybody used to love. Everybody's favorite. Make him the worst individual.
So just Hogan this shit all over again.
Hogan it all over again. Find your new Hogan, and the first time he comes out, push over a kid.
I'm inclined to absolutely agree with you, but Cody's not going to go heel. Well, he's already playing a superhero.
That's why you make him a super nemesis. It's like that.
But he's not going to do it. That's the problem. He's not going to do it.
The other problem is, can you imagine, seriously, don't think about this. Can you imagine Cody, first of all, working more than 3 weeks in a row? How dare we do that? And then number two, can we also acknowledge the fact that would probably have to take up 2 segments of television, and the Bucks are not willing to give up more than they've already given to Cody? The Bucks don't want to give up more television. They have to have a 30-minute match with a tag team no one's heard of.
Because they don't actually ever promote their other 2 shows.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into these guys fully.
All right. Hold on. We've gotten to number 2 because Jesse just hates the Young Bucks, right? Sorry, no. The Sucks. They are the Young Sucks.
We call them the Young Sucks.
The Young Sucks might actually start trending if I keep doing it.
Brought to you by
13 cards subject to change. TM. Anyway.
I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
We're trying now, man.
All right, go ahead, Willie.
I lost it. I had a great idea. And it was like, nope.
All right, but anyway,
you brought me here for this shit.
No, we got better stuff.
No, we got better. Jesse, after you, sir.
So, we said last week, I said I would write 50 tag teams, past and present, better
than the Young Sucks.
He stopped at about
Mary
100.
Kate and Ashley.
Damn, I forgot 51.
He stopped at 106 before I told him, Jesse, you got to cut this down.
Feeling Lil.
Phineas and Ferb.
Hey!
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How about Doug?
Oh, there we go.
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie, yeah, there we go.
The Kanker sisters.
Female representation on the show.
SpongeBob and Patrick.
Ah.
That's an even match.
Damn, I forgot to put them on the list, guys. So,
wait, hold on.
and this is go ahead.
Sam and Carly?
There we go.
Yeah,
they hate each other now, though, so.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. So I guess
Well,
kind of what
Jeanette
happened.
McCurdy isn't in the new reboot.
Because she hates acting.
Because
so
she doesn't want to act because of that show.
Yeah.
She hates what iCarly did to her career because it sort of like typecast her. But I'm like, I hate to be that person, but this is Hollywood. If you can't
You're getting paid.
I know.
If you were doing it for free, you'd have something to complain about, but you're getting paid
millions
of dollars.
She proved to me, and nothing against Jeanette McCurdy, I don't know her personally, but if you can't act your way out of a role, then you're not meant to be in Hollywood. I'm sorry.
I agree.
You have to be multifunctional in Hollywood.
There's some people that can't act their way out of a role, and they have certain types of movies for them in Hollywood.
They're very dirty. So,
in more than one way.
In more than one way. So, in no particular order,
step brother?
not each tag team.
Careful! We might have to pay for that. That might be trademarked.
That could be trademarked.
We might have to pay for that.
Alabama was there first.
That's fair.
And you can get all free at that one site.
Which one site?
Was it the site?
I know like 12 of them shits.
Oh. Was it the site that sponsored Joey Ryan?
3 dozen. Y'all need to catch up.
Was it the site that sponsored Joey Ryan's penis?
I would.
Probably one of them.
That was a real thing, by the way, when Joey Ryan was actually still big in wrestling.
It was sponsored by Dr. Porkenheimer's Boner Juice. Their trademark says if you try Dr. Porkenheimer's Boner Juice and you get an erection lasting for more than 4 hours, call somebody and brag about it. It's getting lightheaded, but it's still hard as a rock.
All right. Jesse, what do you got?
So, the 50 tag teams better than the Young Bucks.
In no particular order.
No particular order. So, Gorillas of Destiny, New Japan.
Oh, God.
The Usos.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Street Profits.
Oh, yeah.
In their own tag team division, the Jungle Express.
Jurassic Express.
Sorry, thank you. Jurassic Express. In their own tag team division, FTR.
Well, FTR is the best heel tag team in wrestling.
Yes.
End of. Sorry, Bucks. End of conversation.
Yeah.
Once again, coming from New Japan, Roppongi 3K.
Okay.
United Empire, that's Will Ospreay's group.
Yep.
All right.
The Trekkers, who are the heavyweight tag team champions again. Their own friends, the Good Brothers.
Once again, he can work with anybody.
The guys, the Shawn Michaels of our generation.
Oh my god! And by the way,
I'm just waiting to like.
It's 50 teams.
It's 50 teams.
Less.
It's 50 teams.
It's still 50 teams, and you better hit these names.
All right. What else?
So the Dirty Dogs, the New Day.
Yeah.
Yes, I put them on this list, people. Shayna and Nia have done more in the last 2 years.
I like that big thing. Oh, hey, come to the show, leg drop it, baby. No.
Amen.
He's sorry, children.
he's a little worried about Shayna, but she.
One wrestler chick. Say less. You just got to the front of the line.
Right. All right.
God.
What else you got?
All right.
The Way. I think I mentioned Ember and Shotzi.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, all 4 members of The Way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Viking Raiders.
Oh yeah.
War Raiders. I mean, their whole history.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Decay. MSK, formerly known as the Radicals in Impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proud and Powerful, formerly known as LAX in Impact. By the way, in their own tag team division.
Right.
Chris Masters and Tom Lattimore. I'm not sure if you watch NWA at all. They're excellent. Probably will be the next tag team champions. And their tag team champions who have a storyline that they can't get along, and yet the story's not only better, but they wrestle together as a tag team better than the Young Bucks. Aaron Stevens and JR Kratos. Aaron Stevens, of course, who used to be the Mrs. Mimic Man back in the day in WWE. I think it's Power Violence or something like that from Impact.
Yeah.
Midnight Rockers.
Oh man, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Okay.
DX. Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
World's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
By the way, I want to point something out. Even though they said it on the show, because Tony Chibble used to always say it, the self-proclaimed World's Greatest Tag Team, at that time, I don't know if there was actually a more talented tag team than Charlie Haas and Shelton.
I was going to say I would probably have to go to a different country to find it.
Oh, yeah.
Because in America, they were the
Oh, God, they were so good.
All right. The Dudleys. The Bulldogs. Both of the British Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
The Hardy Boys.
Okay.
The Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry and Jack
Oh, time out.
Oh,
The Rock and Roll Express. Still better.
Wrestling today.
Still better than the Young Bucks.
and they're still
They're still wrestling today.
And their hair's even still better. The Young Bucks got that sort of like,
balding, long hair.
They actually have more hair than
Wait. Balding, long hair. You mean they got the classic art teacher hair?
Yeah! Yeah!
But they colored their hair, so we're not supposed to notice.
And you can still see them bald spots.
Oh, yeah.
So the Briscoe brothers, Jerry and Jack.
Yep.
The Briscoe brothers in ROH.
Oh, yeah.
Them beautiful redneck boys. Motor City Machine Guns. TNA. Tess and Albert.
Yep.
AJ and D'Lo from their time in TNA.
Ah.
Jericho.
Oh, jeez.
Jericho was excellent because they were not only entertaining, but to me that was the best form of a Big Show heel because he never said anything and he wore a suit. That shit was great. So Jericho, Undertaker and Kane. The Canadians from TNA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The old Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't you know? If someone can finish this off for me, ready? Beer!
Money!
Thank you.
The NWO.
Yep.
The Radicals. Chris Jericho. Chris
Benoit,
Benoit,
Eddie
Eddie
Guerrero,
Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn.
Yep.
There we go.
The Rockers.
Oh, yeah.
In their own tag division, the team I think is deeply underutilized. The Best Friends. Another one that just broke up in the tag division that was their first tag team champions, SCU. Mustache Mountain. The
I'm sorry, that sounds like the sequel to Brokeback.
But they come on.
No one's supposed to know about that script yet. Anyway.
It gave away the secret.
It's a flashback when they go to wrestling.
Let's just point
felt the same about wrestling.
Let's just point something out. Let's point something out. NXT UK gets away with a lot more than Raw and SmackDown because it's the UK. They don't give a shit.
No. And plus, since it's a network exclusive, they can kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah.
When you have that accent, you can get away with certain shit.
The grizzled young veterans in NXT.
Ah.
God, they're so good.
The fabulous ones. This one I actually have to think
That's way back in the old Texas wrestling days. The fabulous ones. Way back in the
Texas days.
The Old Testament of wrestling.
Yes.
The Acclaimed in their own tag team division.
They have actually, when they first came in, I'm looking at this like, all right, so you're going with the stereotypical
imperfect food.
Black rappers.
Yeah.
That's that's who they are.
But they've grown into their roles.
They've actually done pretty well.
Placement on YouTube now.
We've been trying to get them, but Leroy won't send the email.
I keep forgetting.
Leroy won't send the email.
This is some good stuff.
All right, so
in NXT UK, Pretty Deadly, they're tag team champions.
Prettiest long-haired boys you've seen in a long time, but boy, can they wrestle.
You guys are gonna love this, Leroy, and I think you'll love this too, because it's just true to me. The beautiful people from TNA.
All right.
Tell me they're not more entertaining than the Young Bucks.
I have nothing to disagree.
They just got to walk in the room. That's talent enough.
Now, 50 could have been any team, but 50 is Kendrick and Perkins. Because while they were only around for 2 years...
Did you even mention LOD?
LOD was supposed to be in... LOD was actually, I think, in the top 10 of my original list. I had to come here and rewrite the list because I lost the original file.
Yeah.
LOD was there.
Yeah.
Steve Blackman and I think the Boss Man was in there.
Yeah.
I'd have LOD in there. I'd have, of course, the Von Erichs.
Yes.
Yep. I'd have to throw a few big names in myself.
The Fabulous Freebirds.
The Rock and Sock Connection.
Yes.
We actually,
Friday night I had, like I told them in the chat, I had 70 names. So yeah, he had to tell me like, hey, remember it's only 50.
Yeah. he was at 28 shortly after the show was over last week.
I think it's a very good list. And if we had a list to 100.
Oh, I could get to 100.
Easily. We could easily.
We could get to 150.
I might get to 201 before I get to the Young Bucks.
You can get to 100 with just American wrestlers.
Yeah.
So that's not even including Japan,
Canada,
and all the other places with untapped talent.
And I didn't even get to most of the better UK tag team
I don't even think you mentioned the Hart Foundation.
No.
You did.
And they're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I just fired off names in this list quickly before we started off the show.
But
Latino Heat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's be clear here.
Eddie and Chavo, yeah.
Viva la raza.
Ray and Eddie.
Ray and Eddie, yeah.
Ray and Eddie were a better tag team. But let's just
Evolution, because remember, Batista and Ric Flair were tag team champions.
Ric Flair and Roddy Piper in their 60s was better than the Young Bucks.
I got a quick question.
All right.
Just a really quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think was the best tag team partner for Stone Cold?
Ooh.
Of all time?
Triple H.
It's Triple H.
Yeah.
Because their dynamic was... Now, a lot of people want to say Brian Pillman, and that's fine. The Hollywood Blondes were great, but I don't think they were ever utilized to the full potential they could have been.
Properly in WCW.
They didn't even reach their pinnacle. Peak at that
when they were separated and started doing stuff with ECW, you started to see that, oh, look, these two guys are actual superstars. What is WCW doing?
Yeah. But WCW was really famous for... WCW, let's be honest, survived because of Vince's scraps at that point.
Oh yeah.
If they could have taken advantage of the fact that, like, people forget he's Stone Cold Steve Austin, but people don't understand and people forget.
Yeah.
He was under the Seriously, we need to do another list one of these days.
All right.
I don't know when.
Okay.
But we're gonna do a list of people that WCW had first.
Write that down, Leroy.
Oh, can I? No.
That way I can help come up with that list. I think I can.
Because that it's just when you actually look back at what they had before WWE brought them in, it's just Mick Foley was there first. They had the Funks first.
Yes.
They had every single.
Remember, Triple H was terrorizing first in WCW.
I think even Triple H wants to forget about it.
What a terrible name. What a terrible name.
Well, I said they had the Undertaker before.
Yeah.
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 Mean Mark.
Yeah.
Mean Mark.
But yeah. So we're gonna do that one of these days. But it's interesting because we were talking about tag team wrestling, how it's not as big as it once was. But even Jim Cornette has said to FTR, you should have stayed in WWE because you would have gotten paid. You might be kind of joking here and there, but they'd probably at least use you better than you're being used in AEW.
Without a doubt.
way better.
Without a doubt.
Okay, so Willie, you remember when the Ultimate Warrior was brought into WCW, right? Back in that time when Vince wouldn't have nothing to deal with him.
96.
Yeah, 96, around there. So we all know now Hulk brought him in just to get his win back from WrestleMania years before. The Bucks did that to FTR.
Yep.
I've said it on the show. I think I might have been the first person to say that officially that I've heard on this show was all they did was they brought in FTR, they made him the champions just to win the belts off of them in a 29-minute of building a feud from separate companies over Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to see it. You could have sold that pay-per-view for $100 if that was the main event. It might have actually drawn numbers. Yeah. And everyone's sitting here like, oh yeah, we're just gonna beat him on a $50 pay-per-view in the middle of the show.
You know what? That's
in the first match.
Anticlimactic.
You think?
Yeah.
It's very anticlimactic.
And that was back when they were able to and again, I don't think they had crowds at that point, but I'm sitting here looking at myself like, okay, if Mayweather can sell me on $100 for the Conor McGregor bullshit, they can sell me on the Young Bucks and FTR for $100.
My heart almost got so angry because I thought you were about to bring up that other bullshit that just happened.
That wasn't $100.
I was about ready to whoop Floyd's ass myself.
In my personal opinion, after that fight, I believe they should both be tied down to metal chairs and have jumper cables attached to their nuts, and on the other end, put it to a Mack truck car battery for the next 6 days.
I know a certain mayor in Knoxville who would be happy to do so.
He done it before.
Tell his people to get in touch with Mike.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you hear what Logan said he could do? He wants to fight Tyson.
Oh, please!
He said, he's old. I think I can fight him.
I don't care if it's a joke fight or not. I don't want Tyson to take no headshots in that fight. All body.
Yo,
all body. I want his intestines liquefied by 30 seconds in.
He might kill Logan if he's allowed him in the
Put it on YouTube.
But let's analyze that for a second. People forget there are certain things that never leave an athlete, and Mike Tyson
is his power.
There's that was natural power.
He did a training session recently, and at 56, this dude is still destroying gym bags and metal gym bags. Like, he's still too powerful. Like, what are you doing?
No.
Oh my God!
It is not the power. It is not the power. What Mike Tyson has that he will never lose, just because, like, I've watched some of his podcasts and his shows.
Yeah.
He's brought up several times that every fight, what runs through his head is he started fighting because he felt like he was a punk. He felt like he was a bitch. He felt like this man is stronger. This man can beat me. This man can take my life. That's what he brought in before every fight, before every training session.
Yeah.
It's 20, that mental, 20 I'm years going old. To kill you before you kill me.
20 years old, wasn't legally allowed to drink, own Vegas.
Smash. Like,
it's the mindset.
I got to destroy you.
Yeah.
Like, I have to liquefy your insides before you take a step towards me.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. Well, yeah,
once you get that mind, once you get that mind state, you're unstoppable. Because your training is not going to be any different. There is no training. You go into training like it's a fight for your life.
Like, the only reason that fight between him and I think that was I think that was Sugar Shane. I'm not sure. Recently in the Legends League.
Oh no, that was
I'm sure it was not Bernard, was it?
No, it was wasn't it Tyson and Roy Jones?
Yeah, it was Roy Jones.
Yeah.
He got Roy Jones good one time in the fight, and he hugged him like a grandma ain't seen. Bullshit, you not hugged him like grandma at graduation. Like touched him one good time. Oh shit, no.
Roy Jones is like, well, I stopped fighting, 10 years ago. Mike's been doing almost 20 years.
But this kid is so stupid.
Goddamn.
And I get that, it would be a payday. But I'm like, I hope you got a girlfriend. I hope you got a girlfriend who's gonna have that money.
No,
because
not a girlfriend. You better find like your CNA right now. You
better write your living will.
Bag, you're beating through a tube, and like all your food is injected.
You don't want that.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, you're dumbass.
Like Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson, even one of the clinch punches, that's a wrap.
Well, okay. Well, okay. Then let me ask you and Jesse and Leroy this question too, because well, first of all, I don't think anyone's not watched every fight by Tyson at this point, whether it's been on YouTube or But okay. Here's a question, and this is actually one of the few times in the last couple of years where I actually thought Skip Bayless was right. Put Mike Tyson right now, full training camp, in a fight with an up and coming heavyweight, not like a top heavyweight. He might actually beat the guy.
What you mean,
yeah.
might actually?
He would.
He will.
Everyone always questions, the ability for him to move at was it 56?
All he needs to do is give them one good body shot. It's over.
What most people look at is, Tyson's got gray hair and he's 56. If you haven't paid attention to those little training videos, did you see that dude had the double body strap bag when he was doing that? And when he was doing those movements, it's them same movements that he's been doing since 19.
Yeah.
This is life for him.
Yeah.
Like, he knows these movements like breathing and blinking. It's subconscious. You don't even have to think about it to do it.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's already done.
Yeah.
These movements, that's body, head.
Yeah.
Rap. Doesn't matter.
And the whole argument when Skip brought that up was like, because people were bringing up him fighting a world champ, and I'm like, well, I'm not putting him, back at when, like,
Klitschko was out.
Well, the Gypsy, actually, because I think it got brought up with the Gypsy King.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, listen, he's got a fat body. The dude can take punishment. So Mike needs to knock him out quick. I think he can, because Deontay has a lot of power.
Deontay has a lot of power, but if you watch Deontay fight, he's not a boxer. He is a brawler.
Yeah.
Nobody in boxing, he doesn't punch. He clubs people with his fists.
Yeah.
He's a fucking clubber.
Well, that was the problem.
Mike Tyson will dodge those head movements, and he will eat that man alive and pick his fucking teeth with the belt.
Deontay, in my opinion, just when you looked at how skinny he was in that last fight, Deontay Wilder, as
you don't
much
have a body shape. Like, you're frail.
Tyson
at 56 versus somebody that's a champion right now, you're too frail.
I don't know. I think that unless he knocked out the Gypsy King quick, I think he could actually win that fight with Tyson nowadays.
Nope.
I actually think he would.
Nope. You still have to think, even if he doesn't go for the knockout, after hitting the body so much, you start to develop signs of you taking abuse.
Yeah.
Those body shots are going to lead to chest shots. The chest shots are going to lead to bad hand placement. After so many chest shots, your arms tighten up and you can't block your face, you can't block your body, and your hands are about collarbone high.
But
you can get to that point with Tyson's power in a short amount of time.
But Tyson at 56, can he take a couple blows from the Gypsy King though? That's the question.
Do you think he can? No.
I don't know.
I think he could.
I think he could.
That dude, I gotta give Tyson Fury his credit, man.
Tyson Fury gets a lot of credit for me, but not against Tyson. I don't care. Top.
I think they should make it happen because Tyson Fury, it's not like he has any challenges at this point anyway.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well, let me just sidetrack and stay on Tyson.
Yeah.
All right.
One fight that I always wanted to see, but I never got. Tyson Tua.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson versus David Tua. That was a Samoan Mike Tyson. Yeah. Same height, same build, same boxing style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to die.
I'm about to say, it's not being knockout. Somebody has to die.
And that's not a shot.
My guess is the referee for trying to step in. Bing! Crack, crack, crack.
Referee's get a new one.
Oh my God!
Never in the history of any sport, even in AEW, do I think a referee would have less control over a fight.
Oh, he can't do nothing. Tyson. He can't do nothing. But yeah,
he's gonna watch that end horribly.
Like, you just gotta do that when, like, one of those old lion tamers at the circus. You need a chair and a whip.
He's literally staying 6 feet back, and it's not COVID related. I promise.
No. So anyway,
this is because I want to be able to socialize from a distance. Because you can get your
it's because I want to live.
All right.
So anyway,
it's COVID-19, and somebody's going down.
to stay on tag teams.
Yes.
You'll actually remember one of these two teams that we're about to compare right now. Both of them involve Randy Orton. But Leroy's got on here, and I think it's a nice segue. We should actually debate this. It is still young in the career of the second one, but rated RKO or RK Bro?
RKO. For right now.
RKO.
For right now. And I really love what's going on with RK Bro. I love it.
It's the best thing on Raw.
Well, I mean, my God, sitting through Raw for 3 hours is the worst thing I do every Monday. I should be trying to go out and get a honey, but I'm watching Raw for 3 hours.
You're doing it the wrong way. What you need to do is go on one of these chats and be like, hey, I'm just looking for somebody to come enjoy some
Listen, I want to go in Raw with you for 3 hours, and then that confuses her. And you're like, no, we're going to watch Raw. We're hanging out.
What you mean going Raw? This is a wrestling chat lounge. What the hell do you think?
Sir, ma'am, this is a Denny's.
Oh,
Just like the way she folds those towels.
Really like the way she folds those towels, man.
yeah, no, dude, I love arcade, rated RKO.
Bro
is doing pretty good.
I'm gonna be the guy who decides to create some actual controversy in the show. I'm gonna say Arcade Bro.
Why?
And here's why.
Why?
And here's why. Hear me out. Hear me out. As much as I love Edge, as much as I love Edge,
I have a soundboard. It's fun.
Despite
But you haven't been using.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't make up for the lack of ad libs.
Well,
alright. Here's why. As much as I love Edge, and apparently Randy has a thing for tagging with dudes with long blonde hair. I'm just gonna point that out there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nothing. But here's the deal.
It's a Triple H complex. It's okay. It happens.
That's fair. Here's the deal, though.
That way it doesn't feel so weird when you go into that long hug after the belt.
That's fair. Matt Riddle, despite the stoner gimmick, he has not had a bad match.
I don't think he's capable.
I also like the fact that you're seeing more of Randy in the same segment. You're seeing 3 different faces of Randy because Matt Riddle and Randy are complete polar opposites, whereas Edge and Randy at that time were like together. So while maybe the package looked better and more serious, Randy can be the Viper. He can be Randy having fun, which is always fun because Randy does whatever the hell he wants when he has fun. And you see Randy being like, what the hell am I doing with my life? All in one match. And it's great.
Yeah, he just feels like doing this to him sometimes.
Listen, in Arcade Bro...
You bought yourself that, so I can't take it away from you. Sometimes I think to myself.
So, here's the thing.
They're going to be the Raw Tag Team Champions at some point because they're the best thing in the tag division.
Well, they're the best thing on Raw.
And Randy seems to be having fun with it.
Yes.
Okay, so Damian Priest was talking to Matt Riddle backstage.
By the way, he's kind of disappeared, unfortunately, recently.
They might be holding him until they're back on the road, from what I've heard.
That better be the
But
case.
anyway, so Damian Priest is sitting there talking to Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle said, dude, we're about to go to a bunch of different parts of the country, so I want to be bilingual. Teach me a few phrases in Spanish. So he asked Damian Priest some basic, where's the bathroom, what's this, what's that. And then he goes, and then Matt Riddle goes, how do you say, hey, Randy? And then Damian's face just goes, hey, Randy, because Randy was standing behind it. And Matt Riddle plays it off as, really? I thought there'd be more of a translation. And then Damian just walks away, turns around, it's like, hey, Randy!
He is just like this. I don't know.
Jeez, you show up and all of a sudden he finds the soundboard.
Oh, man. Sorry.
You gotta get here to make him start doing his job.
To be fair,
we're supposed to be on top of this.
To be fair, you're literally just a drive up I-35. It's a straight
Listen,
shot.
man, you're in a handicap match right now. I'm just a ref. You're on your own here, buddy.
But anyway,
this is what's going to happen to me right now.
What does my medical record have?
A part of me wanted to go with Arcade Pro because it's so good, but
also Matt Riddle's not going to get suspended because they took weed off the wellness policy.
What? RVD is like
weed in the WWE
RVD is like, man, y'all 10 years.
It's not on the list
bro.
anymore, so
yeah. RVD is like, bro.
You were 10 years too late.
Bro. Really?
You totally ruined
really?
my championship.
I'm twice the wrestler as everyone who's not harmed by this anymore. Really? ECW could have been so much better. Also, RVD has his own thing of rolling papers. At the Hall of Fame, he gave him the Vince McMahon. RVD is living his best life, doesn't give a shit. RVD's like, hey, Vince.
Care, bro.
Oh, by the way, after that, he sold out. After that, they sold out of all the rolling papers.
Yeah,
sure,
that would happen.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you could bring back two wrestlers from any point in time to just dismantle the shitty ones who shall not be named at this time, who would they be?
Oh
I
God.
know mine.
Nope.
I already know mine.
Nope.
Yep.
To take apart those boys?
I think.
Yep.
I only have one choice.
I think mine wins regardless.
All right. Let's hear it.
Leroy,
I
go ahead.
got to do this.
Go ahead.
I say, oh, what a rush.
Oh, Elodie's a good one.
I like that.
Jesse.
I like that.
There'd
Jesse?
be puddles.
No. Not. Nope.
To be honest, I haven't been in a wrestling ring myself in 10 years. I think I could do it, but
that's fair. That's fair.
No, you know what? I wouldn't even pick a tag team to do it.
Really?
You know who I would?
I wouldn't pick a tag team either. I have my 2 perfect dead guys that would come back.
I only have one person, and that's all I need.
You know what?
Wow.
Bruiser Brody.
Eddie and Chris Benoit.
That's mine!
Eddie and Chris Benoit.
No, hold on a second.
Because they would just straight up embarrass
Here's
them.
the deal, though. That's not fair, because here's the deal.
We didn't say it had to be fair.
No, time out. That's not fair to us watching. And
Everybody enjoys a good snuff.
And here's why. In less than 20 seconds, Eddie or Chris would have done 7 moves on the Bucks, and the Bucks would have been like, dude, we haven't even gotten to our first spot. What are we doing?
I got to do 3 more cartwheels before you hit me.
And Chris is like, yeah, no, bro, tap.
I'll show you what my wife remembers. You also realize, think about this. Okay, Matt Jackson's about to jump over the top rope on top of everybody, and Nick would be like, wait, hold on, we're supposed to be waiting to catch him, and Eddie and Chris would just be beating the shit out of him.
They just move out the way, and then you fall, they just start clubbing.
You could do Bruiser Birdie.
No.
And you could have the dude with one leg.
No. You know what? I already know how to end the first person because it's going to be an elimination match.
Oh, geez.
Chris Benoit's got one on his shoulders like a torture rack.
Yeah.
Back down, head up. So that way you can see Eddie Guerrero come down with the frog splash when his abs come down and snap your neck.
All right, okay.
Then they're going to use your lifeless body to beat your partner.
I'm about to make this worse than even Chris and Eddie. Because the guy that I'm going to give Bruiser as a tag team partner.
No. China can do it by herself.
Here's the deal. The guy that I'm about to give Bruiser as a tag team partner, and I'm going to say it, and you're all going to probably hit me for it, he could out-wrestle both Eddie and Chris.
Dean Malenko?
Nope.
Oh.
Tom, Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
In his prime.
Oh, yeah.
In his prime, Dynamite
Kid. The problem is that I don't know if Bruiser's letting him in, because Bruiser might just want to beat the shit out of him and stack him. Dynamite might actually kill him.
Which one?
I'm not worried about
either outcome,
No. Here's what's going to happen, and I guarantee you this will be the result. Bruiser's going to start the match, and it's going to be like Amos versus New Day at WrestleMania. The Bucks are just going to bounce off him like friggin' babies. No, here's what happens. Bruiser's going to tag in Dynamite. He's going to grab one of them, and he's going to take out the rest of their hair and just drag him around ringside. He's going to quote The Undertaker, he's going to take him for a walk.
Yes.
Either way it goes, as long as they look like the Cynthia doll from the Rugrats, I'm okay.
That's at least Cynthia had hair.
Even with the Homer Simpson 2-strand comb over.
There you go.
He's been hanging on to that for 40 years.
And you want to know, by the way, Willie, funny story. So Eric, who's going to be on the show next week for us to get ready for DPW, Eric is actually only one phone call away from the Young Bucks.
Really?
We can.
Want to bring him here and do some backyard wrestling?
We don't have a trampoline.
Oh yeah, we need a trampoline.
They can't wrestle without a trampoline.
We need that bouncer thing from Fortnite.
We'll take it to Planet 3.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I have connections.
You know what?
Of course you do.
How awesome would that be for somebody just to be doing some funny promo, just for one of the companies, and they're product placement. We're in a trampoline park. When I'm not body slamming people, I'm here and then have somebody come out of nowhere and spear him in midair.
So I know a guy who might be able to get in contact with Roman Reigns. This could happen. Hey Roman, you know how you like to smash and stack people? Well, there's this tag team that's kind of annoying.
You'd be able to do
I
both.
bet you can't run through them both.
The only reason I don't want that.
They don't want to acknowledge you as a tribal chief.
No, the only reason I don't want
it's
that.
okay. You don't have to do the cleanup. We got it, guys.
You want to know why? No, here's the deal. You want to know why I don't want Roman versus the Bucks? I don't want the Bucks to get the payday for losing. They don't deserve that much money.
It's only going towards the burial. By the burial, I mean purchase of Ziploc bags.
They're not going to bury themselves. They're conservative hippies. They're going to,
So they're just gonna do it like those dog shit pickup? Just get one to everybody in the crowd that's a fan of AEW. All right, take your souvenir.
To be fair, Leroy actually gave some fans souvenirs at the very first wrestling show we were at.
Well, yeah,
Darren Corbin took our sign that said "You're a crybaby." He ripped it up, threw it, and then everyone wanted it. And I'm like, all right, cool.
It's not littering if everybody thinks it's a souvenir.
That's pretty much how it worked.
They think it was awesome because Darren touched it, and then boom. I was like,
cleanup is now easy.
Very easy.
You know and plus, they can make up for that terrible blood and guts match.
I got a better one.
Nothing makes up for that.
Doink and Hornswoggle versus them.
Oh my God.
Hornswoggle and what's the little
El Torito?
El Torito. El Torito.
They'll just literally wrestle rings around them.
Yeah.
See, the problem is
they get beat by a bull.
They've already had a match with Hornswoggle. Remember, they had a match with Hornswoggle in ROH.
Yeah, they did. People forget the Young Bucks right now want to come off as like we're the toughest tag team ever. Guys, you have so much bullshit from PWG and ROH. I can never take you seriously. No. You did so much shit for just the payoff. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, tomorrow's
be like a porn star running for president. I can't take you seriously. I've seen.
Well, I don't know. Trump won, so.
Well, he wasn't a star, but
he only got peed on by one.
And somebody tried. There was a porn star that started running for governor in California. Didn't know.
All I'm saying is don't put it past conservatives in America to vote for whatever.
Chocolate Ray.
If he ran as a conservative, he might actually win.
It's not that hard to win on the Republican ballot.
No.
I don't know. Well,
but anyway, so another
all right, hates blacks, Jews, gays.
Yeah,
you're in.
Yeah.
To some good news. Well, first of all, we have to leave Spot Monkey.
That's a good thing.
So now we're gonna go to the better show that no one's watching. NXT had a huge 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Number one, Samoa Joe is back.
Yes, he is.
He is now the heavy of William Regal. And William Regal made it very clear. You are not allowed to get physical with any of the competitors unless provoked.
Correct.
Which Adam Cole mistakenly forgot that was a thing.
Time out. That's still one of the biggest loopholes. You look at him for too long and it's provocation.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Like, seriously, wait till he's in the middle of something and they've got him on camera and he's talking business and he's serious and just walk by him just like, bam! Slice of cheese on the forehead and run for dear life.
To be fair, I might not put that past Everrise.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to be choked out at some point.
I'm loving Everrise, especially after the whole rebuild of that little dollhouse. Yeah. That was great.
They're going to probably get choked out by Joe.
You'll love this. One of the best moments in NXT recently. So he mentioned the Rascals, who are now known as MSK in NXT. So they come in, they win the Dusty Classic, right? They're in the ring watching the two women's tag teams,
Raquel
Gonzalez and Dakota Kai.
Ember, I think.
No. This was with Shayna and Nia.
That's right.
Yeah, so anyway, we're bringing this up because I don't think Willie's seen it, and we have to show him the video. Yeah, so anyway, Everrise comes out to watch the confrontation between the two women's tag teams. Beth Phoenix is in the ring, and MSK's got popcorn. They start going back and forth with trading insults, and MSK's there, like, eating popcorn as fast as they can. Beth Phoenix, this had to have been an ad lib. Beth Phoenix was in the ring. Instead of standing there doing nothing, like a lot of broadcasters do, she just goes in the corner and they start eating popcorn together. and Beth joins.
I can see that, like, just shoving it in.
And the best part is, when they got to the whole joke of Nia, not only does MSK pretend that they die and fall out of the ring, even Beth goes, holds the popcorn in midair.
We've had that on the show a couple times.
It was so
my hole.
Yeah,
I give her credit, man. You know,
those are iconic words.
right?
Rank that right up there.
So anyway, Joe's back. NXT has a new enforcer, basically.
Kind of taking the old Stone Cold.
Yeah. What was your favorite Joe interaction of night one?
I gotta be honest. It wasn't even Adam Cole getting choked out, which was great.
Are you gonna say anything?
It was Karrion Kross.
I got nope.
I love.
What's yours? Because I think I got the best one. But what's yours?
I did love Joe when he choked him out and he looked at him and said, "Tell him when he wakes up."
William Regal will see him.
Everyone forgot about it because it was so quick.
Which one?
Johnny Gargano?
The Johnny Gargano moment. Johnny comes in, he's talking to William, and William's trying to get paperwork done, and Johnny's all happy, and he's bouncing around like he's just like a kid on caffeine, and all of a sudden Joe goes, Johnny, yeah, get out. And then Johnny's just like, yeah, sure. because
it would kill him.
But it's just, but it's interesting. If Joe's not medically cleared, I don't want him to wrestle.
Well, true.
Number one. Number two, if you're not going to wrestle, it's more money doing it probably. Yeah. Because I don't think Joe's a Mark Henry level of pay in AEW just yet.
No.
But it's like, if not to mention the fact, Joe has been fairly healthy at this point.
Yeah.
Knock on wood here. But I also don't want him to get into a ring with a bunch of guys who, let's be honest, if you think Dynamite Kid blew himself out early, these guys are going to be done in 5 years.
Most of these guys aren't going to make it deep.
They don't have the shelf life of the conditioning.
They have the conditioning. They don't have the shelf life.
No, they don't.
Because of all the crazy shit
Mick Foley's the only guy in the history of wrestling that did everything he did, and for some strange reason is still alive.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Oxycodone.
I'm about to say, they took a lot of heavy drugs back
to
in
be
the
fair, Joey Janela uses meth. Anyway.
Cocaine.
Terry Funk is still alive, too.
Terry Funk's only alive because Satan goes, oh wait, I get him. I'm gonna hold off as long as I can here.
Do we have to take this one?
We'll send him up.
Hey, Big Dog, just keep him up there, man. I see what he did in Japan in the 70s, man. Just keep. I don't want that shit.
By the way, it's interesting, but now that Mick's documentary has come out, people have been asking, well, why are you cool with what Mick and Terry did, but not cool with what Mox and Kenny did? First of all, Mick and Terry were grown-ass men doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And number two, Terry and Mick are the masters of the shit at least looked real.
Yeah.
It wasn't spotty. It wasn't meant to be a joke.
Well,
and not to mention the fact, that was real fucking barbed wire. Because the Japanese like to have all the details sewn up. Just like Mick had
and here's the biggest thing, because John Moxley, if it would have been Eddie Kingston and John Moxley, it would have been way better because those two have done death matches before.
Yes.
They're not new to it. They understand how to do it. That's the world John comes from, is death matches. Kenny is
the
just
Nick
a guy
Gage episode of Dark Side of the Ring was actually a really nice thing to see this season. Only because this season, like I said, Dynamite was hard to watch. I will never, for the rest of my life, watch the Grizzly Smith episode.
I'm still trying to find that.
Don't do it. Leroy, the stories alone is all you need to watch.
I'll put it this way, I still haven't even watched the Jake the Snake one. You can't pay me to do it.
That's the one we're talking about.
No.
Grizzly. No. Jake's a big part of the Grizzly story. But
he won't watch the resurrection of Jake the Snake with DDP because he doesn't want to see Jake at that point. But here's the deal: Jake actually looks better in this. The problem is it's Jake recounting all the abuse that he got from his dad.
See, my whole thing is I'm not going to damage my childhood.
Yeah.
For the simple fact of I know that this was my top tier wrestler when I was a little kid.
You loved Jake.
Loved Jake the Snake.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love him.
That sounds like you.
God dang it. Bitch! Fuck, gotta find another one.
And that's fair. And that's fair. And like I said, Dark Side of the Ring is always hard to watch because it is kind of ripping apart the legacies.
It just shows you the people behind the actual character.
But here's the thing. I literally still have the ability to want to watch all of them. I will never watch In the Shadow of Grizzly Smith ever again.
No, I said I watch.
Grizzly Smith went to his grave knowing who killed his oldest daughter.
No.
I did watch Resurrection. I was a big fan of Jake. It showed a whole different side to him and everything. It didn't ruin it for me. But I respect you if you don't want to see that. I understand.
Like, I can't do the one with Ric Flair either. I've seen, like, bits and pieces of it and seen him crying. Nope. Turn that shit off.
Yeah. The interesting part about it is that the 30 for 30 that you're talking about, he only cries when he A, talks about friends he's lost,
I gotta be honest,
or B,
talks
about Charlotte.
I'm not like shitting on Ric Flair. Ric Flair's the greatest.
Oh no, like
if I would have been able to
was the very first wrestler that I ever met in person.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I was in Beaumont, Texas. We had just left from church. We were going back to Houston, and we had stopped at a gas station that was right next to Pompano's. It was Ric Flair, Eric Bischoff, and Triple H.
Wow.
And my dad told me, no, don't get out the car. No, don't get out the car. And this is the very first time that I blatantly just said, fuck what you talking about. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I got out the car, and I ran back to the car, and he's like, didn't I tell you? And I just like, yeah. Magic smoothed the backhand, grabbed the napkin out the glove box, and ran over and asked him for an autograph. He was the nicest motherfucker ever. Gave me a big ass hug, and is like, come here, I want to show you something. Brought me in the store and introduced me to fucking Triple H and Eric fucking
That's
Bischoff.
awesome.
It's like, this is Eric Bischoff. Yeah, fuck off. Who else is
But that's the thing
like,
is,
oh, you got a puppy.
What's interesting in that 30 for 30, Snoop gets interviewed. Snoop Dogg.
I'm not a fan of his either.
Yeah, no, but the interesting part is that Snoop actually said,
I can't forgive the Snoop Lion shit. That shit bothers me.
That's Snoop, and I'm quoting.
There's no coming back from that.
He's trying.
And I'm quoting Shaq. Snoop put out a reggae album. If you're a Snoop fan, you probably haven't heard it. If you're a reggae fan,
I know you don't fucking have it.
I guarantee you haven't heard it.
Snoop's reggae album is like...
It's almost like that movie Soul Plane he made.
It's the equivalent to masturbating with superglue.
Like, it's so embarrassing to black people. Like,
that would kind of suck.
Like, Kanye has done some dumb shit, but...
Oh, that one really sticks with you.
He didn't make Soul Plane, and he didn't do Snoop Lion. So, like,
I put it this way: Kevin Hart saved Soul Plane.
Listen, we as black men have to disagree with each other.
No, I'm saying I didn't say the movie was good. I just said the watchability of certain parts and certain characters in there, like Godfrey. Yeah, he made some parts in there, and all the funny shit had nothing to do with Snoop until they found him dead.
Are you agree? Yeah. Snoop Dogg did say about Ric Flair, the black community wanted to be Ric Flair when Ric Flair was...
hell yeah. Ric Flair was the flyest person ever.
Like a pimp.
And I'm having a hard time holding these gators down. Do you know what the fuck that says to little black kids? I'm stepping on national TV in a fur coat, diamond rings, watches, some fucking drawers and boots, and bitches love me.
Ric Flair was probably drunk the night he says this. Ric Flair was probably still intoxicated because he was going through...
Most likely.
I think it was David's past. Have I been here before? I'm like, Rick has closed every town from here to to any coast.
Yeah.
He's closed down more time than most people have lived there.
Yeah, he's closed down Duluth.
But I was going to say overall with Rick, he's cried so much though in the last 10 years that it doesn't take away from him to me. Because just every time he's been around his daughter, like she's achieved something, I'm like, God damn, I get it, you're a proud father, but damn, Rick, do I have to keep seeing you cry all the damn time?
See, that's my whole thing. Like, when it comes to him, seeing him do that makes him more human.
Well, yeah.
I guess.
And by the way, happy Father's Day to you.
It's not just that. It's like, I understand where you're coming from, because recently, my son graduated from 5th grade. That ain't shit. But it's an accomplishment of your kid.
Yeah.
Like, the small shit your kids do, no matter how stupid or insignificant it may seem to other people, that's fucking leaps and bounds past what they could have been.
Yeah.
Like, I could have pulled out your fucking mom.
It is Father's Day.
Well, it's like the old Dave Chappelle joke. You know, where Dave Chappelle talked about his son making him a macaroni necklace, and he was like, I started crying, and my son was like, Dad, what's wrong? He was like, man, do you know you used to live in my balls, man? And you making macaroni necklaces? You was on a different level.
You also got to remember, he sees his son too.
Well, they both have said they
what
see.
What does his son do?
Well, David passed away.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, cause she started wrestling because of the passing of her brother.
Yes.
Because she actually didn't want to be a wrestler.
No.
Because she's seen everything that her dad went through, and she actually wanted originally no part. Now, what was good was when she first went to the performance center, Triple H informed her, like, this is a different time. Like, all the shit your dad dealt with, you will probably never really have to deal with. The issues you guys will have to deal with is much different.
Yeah.
Than what your dad and the women in his time had to deal with. I mean, the changes of the last 8 years in pro wrestling will fuck your brain up, but it's one of those things where I don't know. So going back to the Ric Flair one or Grizzly Smith. Yeah. Grizzly Smith, to me, I can never tell anyone to watch.
No. Because
it doesn't harm Jake at all.
No.
But to me, what it did was I got the chance to watch Grizzly Smith starting like 10 years ago because I really became more of a wrestling historian as you guys think of me as back then when I wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And what it did for me was I went, that sucks that they all felt like they had to do that all those years ago. Take shit like that to their graves. Know that they were kind of piece of shit parents, but take that to their graves. Like, that's a horrible thing.
The other thing about it, though, is that this, again, and I know we talked about it, and I said I didn't want to discuss it, but we're already down that rabbit hole. Again, back in that era, Willie is sitting on a phone right here. There were not...
Yeah.
And by the way, half the towns they ran in that territory, the payphone probably didn't work.
No.
Nobody was going to find out about it. Grizzly was never going to get caught. Yeah. So all the people, they're like, well, Cornette says, his day was better than Joey Ryan. They were!
Yeah.
Because Grizzly was an outlier, but the Speak Out movement comes out and you realize half the dudes from Southern Cal are a bunch of freaking peddlers.
Yeah.
Fucking disgusting-ass people.
Yeah.
So you know what? No. Joey Ryan is not made better because of Grizzly Smith.
No.
Joey Ryan's still a dick, and Joey Ryan should never be allowed to do anything ever again in the wrestling business.
No.
Especially after he tries to set up a women's charity after he has over 24 complaints about sexual inappropriateness.
I think he should feel blessed that...
It wasn't the old days because they would have booked his ass?
Well, here's the thing. I think he should feel blessed because a lot of the shit he did with women's wrestlers, and I think of some of the women's wrestlers he basically, insulted/assaulted.
Yeah.
And the fact that Shayna didn't kill him back then,
right,
is fucking amazing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I just think they should do a pay-per-view event and just start castrating motherfuckers.
Like, I think so. Someone threw an idea out on Reddit that I love.
Okay.
So somebody was like, as much as you guys hate Vince, why don't we go to Vince? Like, hire Joey Ryan, right?
Okay.
Book him in a match against Shayna. And just tell Shayna only before the match.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want. You're still getting paid. You won't go to jail.
What?
I want to see what happens to Joey Ryan.
Hey, can Nia Jax do a run? I want to see if she can make somebody else go like my hole.
Oh no. There won't be a hole left because Shayna will put all of Joey's limbs in every hole.
You will see his arm go this way. The other arm go in places in his ass you didn't know it could go. You will see the leg breaking away. You're like, whoa, I didn't know that could break like that. Like, everyone was like, I actually love that idea. Somebody please do this.
People don't realize Shayna's having a good time doing it, and she's probably a lot healthier now than she would if she was still in MMA.
Well, yeah.
But Shayna's still one of the most dangerous people on the planet.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Shayna Baszler is a dangerous
woman, yes.
And in a real... And here's the deal. Sonya, glad that, she's okay, glad everything's worked out there. This is another...
Shayna was damn near undefeated for 3 years.
Yeah.
Probably could have beat Ronda if she wanted to go that route, but she didn't. She chose pro wrestling when Ronda was coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Became friends.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, remember, she just turned 40 this year, too, so... But yeah, going back to what we were originally talking about, which... Now I've kind of forgotten what
we were in NXT.
Thank you. I don't know how we got to Grizzly Adams for NXT.
Joe, again, when every time Willie's come on the show, we've gone on tangents, and it's been great. We loved it.
We'll get up there.
I know a shortcut.
We're gonna get to biscuits. We just have to take this little roundabout before we get back to biscuits.
So we'll talk about the
Right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, they had a pay-per-view.
Yes.
In your
they
house.
Brought back In Your House with the same original host and a bunch of 90s jokes.
What?
I felt old because I knew what was happening, but there was a bunch of 90s jokes.
You know what? That would be something awesome to see if they just brought back a bunch of the older wrestlers and just had mirror matches. You're the younger version of me. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Some guys you can't.
No, this is.
Oh, you don't think Greg the Hammer Valentine could still knock somebody's ass out?
It's the whole thing.
If
back in the day, when they had those standoffs and you were just standing there eyeballing them. somebody got smacked and you seen all that hair fly. That was a real slap. That wasn't one of those fake ones. It's not like, all right, we're going to put a fan here and turn the camera this way so you can't see it. And action. No, it's bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you already know somebody's ears got rung. Like, once or twice.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
But yeah, so anyway,
Yeah.
in your house, by the way, I just want to point out, this was in front of the first full capacity crowd in the history of the CWC. Yeah. And this felt like NXT for the first time in about 18 months.
Yeah, for sure.
This felt like NXT.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because because the crowd was back to being what Full Sail used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
loved it.
The crowd this was the best with fan event that's happened since COVID.
And they had more energy.
Oh God!
You could tell the wrestlers had more energy because they actually had fans there.
Oh, they balled out all night long. Anyway, what do we have?
Well, before everything, and they had a dark match.
Yep.
With Sari and Zoe Stark defeated the Robert Stone brand.
Not hard to do, but
yeah.
Saray's been great since she's come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take Joshi women's wrestlers, and how do you look at what Kenny does and what Sean and Hunter are doing, and even try to compare it?
No,
you can't.
People try.
Jesse's been yelling on the show not just about the overall women's division of AEW, but the usage of very good Joshi women's wrestlers from Japan, and it's like, Kenny, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't think Kenny knows.
I'm about to say, I don't think Kenny knows now.
But anyway, no. But here's the deal. What they've done with the women there is that they've been in dark matches.
Yep.
They've been highly promoted, but they're not going out there until they're really ready. Yeah. Where I think Riho should have been on dark for a couple of weeks, and they should have had, obviously, Britt Baker versus
that's his
Nyla.
wifey, so he put the championship on her right away.
Yeah. Right. Everyone's like, well, Kenny didn't do it for himself because he took a year to be champion. Yeah, well, you know what? He gave it to Riho, but anyway. Yeah. Anyway, going on.
Right, well, the pay-per-view started out, and I was impressed that they started out this way.
The six-man?
The six-man with Bronson Reed and MSK against Legado del Fantasma for all the gold.
Despite the loss, Legado is, they are, despite the loss, you can tell they're building Santos Escobar to eventually just be the guy.
Yeah.
He looks, and again, took off the mask. That alone probably cost six figures to make him take off the mask because he could have stayed in Mexico and been a god.
Oh, yeah.
But he comes over here, he takes the mask off, he gets with two guys, one is not even Mexican. DJ Z is actually, I think, Filipino.
Yeah, he's Filipino.
He's Filipino. But no, it's just I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here looking at myself, and I'm saying to myself, despite Bronson looking good, MSK always looks great.
Oh yeah.
Santos superstar.
He is
who they're going to pull probably very soon.
I don't think he becomes NXT champion.
No.
But I think that after the North American run, they're going to call him up.
They're going to call him up.
This live delay is awesome.
That was what the little random thing.
Yeah, I know. Live delay.
I'm watching myself here.
I can watch it right here because the live delay.
I have it up because
but Allison told you to stop looking at the camera so much.
Well, I can look at the camera right here. She can be mad at me, but the camera's right there.
The camera loves me.
Well, yes, he does. Yes.
Anyway, Leroy, next match.
We got Xia Li defeat against Mercedes Martinez, and she beat her.
Loved this action.
This is the right way, and this goes to the WWE main roster on Raw too, not just AEW. Yeah. This is the right way you do building a heel.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So yes, she got the win, but she also got it because of some help she got on the outside.
Here's the deal. That was actually not insulting to Martinez.
No.
Because it wasn't magic. It was just a choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
So if you're Mercedes, this is not as insulting as maybe some of the crazy stuff they've done on Raw.
Yeah.
So what I saw.
The bullshit they've
also, I did say Boa was going to get involved, and more so like Mercedes folded him into a Chinese pretzel.
I'm afraid of Boa becoming Reginald of the Chinese people, and I don't want him to be. Because he keeps getting involved in women's matches to get beat up.
Oh, he just gets
to help push Xia, which Bo can actually wrestle.
With that statement. He keeps getting involved in women's matches just to get beat up.
He's like, that's
a
win
for that. Like, they sell panties and vending machines in Japan, so this might not be so much to help somebody.
If you want, you can make you can make $10 grand a month.
Yeah, right.
You can make $10 grand a month in South Korea doing mukbang.
Eating.
All you do is eat large amounts of food. You make $10 grand a month.
Yeah. It's crazy.
We live in the wrong country.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah.
Anyway, Leroy, what else you got?
All right, the next one was a ladder match for the vacant $1 million championship with LA Knight.
Loved it.
Defeating Cameron Grimes.
I love the LA Knight. LA Knight in a 2-night period did nothing wrong.
No.
He did everything perfect. The $1 million championship is back. And LA Knight won it, and then he beat up Ted DiBiase. After he got it. And I'm like...
Because that's what Ted would have did in the 80s.
That's what Ted would have done in the 80s!
He'd have beat him up and then be like... and then walked off.
The really sad part about it is...
By the way, Ted sold like a champion for him in the 60s.
Ted was great.
I also want to beat them like a champion.
I also want to point out, the $1 million championship did more for Virgil than it's done for anyone in AEW. Hey, no one in AEW, and Virgil was like that. Virgil was that thing when you look back on it, you're like, oh my god, but at the time it was so good.
Oh yeah, Gold Dust.
Yeah, that wouldn't make it on network television these days.
No. That's like sparkly S&M.
Oh, it was just S&M. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
Oh yeah.
Booker T, one of the highlights of his career, he even said was working with Gold Dust.
Oh god.
Oh, like could you imagine trying to wrestle somebody and like you hit him with a chair and it's pow. I've been a bad wrestler. But you love to watch it. Exactly. Like he comes out and he's got like 4 dudes in the corner just moving side to side in gimp suits. Yeah. Like then he wins, opens his robe, and they start licking sweat on him. It's some really creepy shit, dude.
But it was perfect mind games.
But Japan would pay extra money for it.
Oh, they could probably do that character in New Japan today if they wanted to. Go ahead.
Jimmy, probably.
Oh, they probably will.
All right. Then we had the champion Raquel Gonzalez beat Ember Moon for the NXT.
It didn't make Ember look bad, but it made Raquel look amazing.
Yeah.
Once again, if you're gonna continue to keep her as champion and build her as champion, you have to do finishes this way because clearly the match showed and the story that they were telling is Ember is technically leaps and bounds better than her.
Yeah.
This was the first time in a championship defense she was basically dominated.
But this this proves, you know how we talked earlier about.
By the way, Vince, because he said he actually has started watching NXT matches more.
Yeah.
If you watch that match, you got to be like, I don't know how I didn't do anything with Ember Moon and then let her get hurt in that stupid 24/7 thing.
Right.
That they have taken off of R-Truth, and Akira Tozawa went home.
Yeah.
Akira Tozawa ain't gonna be back for a month.
Yeah. But
the thing is, don't get me wrong, R-Truth was selling that shit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you put somebody that nobody liked on it so that way he could become more of a heel and get his ass kicked more? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with that statement, I'd like to thank everybody for welcoming me back in. I'm taking off.
Thank you.
Man, great to see you, man.
Willie,
great to see you.
Willie, the only time I will guarantee Willie will be back will be in 2 years, obviously, because Willie's going to be in my wedding. Can't wait for that to happen.
Shit-faced.
You know my bridal party. Well, you know my groomsmen party is you, White Willie, Tony, and Josh.
Oh my God! Somebody get our bell. Allison, well, shit, you're gonna be there drunk too.
Allison's gonna be in the back row. Allison has one rule for you: if I don't cry when she walks down the aisle, you just punch me in the gut.
I was about to say, I'll just pull one of your noses.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Right, we'll talk to you.
All right, I'm here till
Hold on,
Thursday.
Willie. See ya. Willie, before you go.
All right, what's up?
I still need those school pictures.
Oh shit! Those are in the car. Don't worry, I got you.
All right, deuces. All right. So, but anyway, so okay, we talked earlier about I think we brought up. Well, we're still on Raquel versus.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, I've said this on. on the show before. Colin Cowherd talked about this, and I'm going to sort of use what he said to be something else.
Yeah.
American Idol at its peak was Randy Jackson, Paula Abdul, and Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Randy Jackson and Paula Abdul were kind of the same character. Success in the business, we're nice about it. We're like, hey, we like your attitude, we like your spirit. Maybe you don't have it. And Simon just said, you're garbage. But here's the deal. Everyone wants to think that Simon was a bully, that he's snobbish. Simon's the industry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hate to say it. You watched last night. Big shout out. I'm trying to get them on the show. Whiskey Trail.
Yes.
Last night.
Yes.
And you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Anyway, I actually graduated with Heidi.
Okay.
Actually a year before Heidi.
Okay.
But anyway, no. But here's the deal. Whiskey Trail, God love them. I hope they succeed. They've opened for a lot of big acts, but the business would look at them and say, "You're good." Heidi's not a bad singer. I actually love, Whiskey Trail as a local thing. But then there's Trampled by Turtles. They mix rock and bluegrass. I'm not a fan. Everyone says, "How are you not a fan?" I'm like, just because they're from my hometown doesn't mean I have to be a fan.
Exactly.
But the industry says you're good enough to have a record put out around the world.
Yes.
I'm not the industry.
Yeah.
But it's also not my genre.
Correct.
But the way that the music industry works, and Jesse's in it, he knows. Look, there's 100,000 people in the music industry who sold 1 million records. There's about 12 who sold 100 million.
Yeah.
Talent will always be there. There's 100 people that can sing on American Idol.
Of course.
But who wins American Idol and actually goes on to stardom? The Kelly Clarksons, the Carrie Underwoods. Chris Daughtry was obviously eliminated early, but that's a fan vote.
Well, I say we're probably season 18, and probably you only remember 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly. But again, Simon looks at you and says, "I get that you're talented. I get that you're hardworking, but there's talent." And then there's, are you Freddie Mercury? And I'm serious.
Well, as the saying goes, there's levels to this.
Yes.
There's levels to this.
Here's the deal. Anybody can get up like Whiskey Trail did and perform in front of what, a couple hundred people, a couple thousand people down there?
It was a couple hundred.
Yeah.
At that
time. And I love Heidi.
Yeah.
Heidi's not Freddie. Heidi's not Freddie Mercury because nobody will ever be Freddie Mercury.
No,
but Simon looks at every person and says, "Can I get an ounce of Freddie Mercury?"
Yeah.
And if he doesn't see it, he says, "Look, you can be a hard worker all you want. Talent's gonna do this." But that was the unique thing about this match, and this match was in fact the wrestling industry, not the Vince version of it, but the wrestling industry, which is, you're more talented, but power and strength, it can end it like that. We were talking about Mike Tyson, the one blow to the jaw, and you're done. Raquel was out wrestled, but she won because. Even though Ember worked hard and Ember's more talented, sometimes you just have to have an it factor. And in this case, whereas Freddie was just Freddie, whereas Whiskey Trail, we don't know yet because they're still kind of young, but they're not the people they've opened for. I mean, different version of the country.
Yeah.
But Raquel, in that moment, showed what... And again, it's that subtle thing that Jim Cornette always talks about. And agree with him or not, say he's nitpicking, it's what makes you come back.
Yeah.
Raquel proved in that moment, you can outwork me and you can be more talented, but I've got something that just makes me better.
And it also really, what helps Raquel Gonzalez is that little tiny cute little redhead.
But Dakota, by the way, props to Dakota.
Yeah.
She's taking bumps for this feud. She's taking bumps for everything Raquel's done. Folks, I just want to be very, very clear. Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae, two of the most unsung NXT people that exist.
Yeah.
There is so much that those two have done to make that brand better.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that they ever get the real credit for it. Because they just, folks, Dakota has been good, she's been bad, she's been in between, and she's always been great in the ring.
Absolutely.
And then you look at Raquel comes in. You think, okay, she's the heavy, but Raquel ends up being the star because, like I said, star power just comes through. Yeah. Aerosmith is just going to be Aerosmith. There's 100,000 rock bands, but Aerosmith is Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Talent is talent, and it's always going to overshine even the hardest worker. Here's the deal. There are bands that have played 20 years and they've played to small pack shows, and it's like, we'll get our break. And then you get Metallica where it's like, okay, we can't deny what you are.
I mean, it took that band fun 8 years to finally get a big hit record.
But here's the deal, though. You knew from day one what they were going to be.
I don't know. Like, when it takes you 8 years, that means that you had to find something that finally worked.
Well, the problem was, and okay, if Metallica comes out today, I actually think that doesn't happen. Here's why. Back then,
well, metal isn't as big of a genre. Well, as far as like on the pop charts, it used to be.
But here's the thing. Everyone forgets because they're so big. Metallica started in the hair metal days.
Yeah.
Metallica was in San Francisco trying to be Metallica while Poison was big, Warrant was big. There's 1,000 other bands. I mean, they weren't all Poison, Warrant. I mean, Warrant was obviously
they just all look the same.
Exactly, but that's why that's why Metallica goes to San Francisco, because they tried in L.A., but L.A. was L.A.
Yeah.
It was the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
But Metallica survived grunge because they weren't L.A.
Well, because they also weren't cheesy hair metal. But I will say this.
Oh, yeah.
My last thoughts about this match overall.
Raquel's a star. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, she is.
Raquel's very good. I have a feeling that the breakup is coming soon, and I say that because the challengers are now becoming more of a pain in the ass when you think about it. Shotzi could be next.
Yeah.
They're now also trying to go after the women's tag team titles. It's from the way it's one of those things that just like, well, I mean, with Shayna and Nia, that's different. That's the Alexa Bliss factor, but it's one of those things where I think the story will become they're trying to become Bayley and Sasha, but it's very hard to become Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Bayley and Sasha, even though Sasha's the more talented one, Bayley has talent, but Sasha, again, it's like putting a B+ football player on the same offensive or defensive line with an A+. You're good, but goddamn. Bayley's good, but goddamn Sasha.
Yeah.
But Bayley found a way to find a niche where she just blossomed, and that was the heel turn.
Yeah.
But again, Bayley.
Well, baby girl Hogan should have worked. I don't know how they didn't make it work.
Well, I think the problem with that was,
besides This Is Your Life with Alexa Bliss. Oh my God.
That was not good.
Oh my God.
I think the problem was that, again, this is why this pay-per-view was so good. The NXT crowd, they love you no matter what, but they give you the love in the right way.
Yeah.
This is the idea that, okay, Leroy and I could, let's say Leroy and I become a tag team and we get over in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah. We go to Jesse's hometown, that's a different crowd, that's a different animal.
Beast in Brooklyn.
And that's my point, is that I don't think that Bayley Hogan was going to get over in markets like a Brooklyn, markets like a New York City.
Yeah.
But Bayley as a heel gets over because in New York they respect the heel. They'll hate them, but they respect for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So my whole thing about this is just Bayley is a B+ who found an A niche. Mm-hmm. But Sasha was going to out-wrestle everybody from day one because Sasha's just the blueprint, the standard, the natural. She's everything that she says she is, and it's in spades. But Raquel is a star. The breakup's coming. I don't think it's going to hurt Dakota because, like I said, Dakota, much like Candice, they always find a way to become relevant in NXT again. And Candice has been relevant from being the indie darling to now the Poison Pixie. Poison Pixie works all goddamn day.
Oh yes, it does.
And she and Candice also now, with the EO situation, she owns the stage there.
Yeah.
I just everything about Candice and Dakota. Look, when when the breakup happens, I think Dakota will be fine.
Oh yeah.
Because Dakota is just a scratcher and a clawer. Mm-hmm. But again, B+ that can find the A moments, and then there's just an A next to him, and that's Raquel. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna rework Raquel and Rhea someday on the main roster.
Oh, for sure. And
it's gonna work because they look like stars, they carry themselves as stars, they're just stars.
Oh yeah.
Even though first I need someone to rework Raw in the women's division.
All right.
Next match.
We got the last match.
Yep.
Fatal 5-way. Kyle, Adam Cole, Baby, Johnny Gargano, Dunn, and Kerry.
Now, Marcus was right in the lounge when he said this match was carried by everybody else except for Karrion.
Yes.
But I'm not asking Karrion to be Adam Cole. I'm not. I'm asking Karrion to be Karrion Kross. The problem is that people and Karrion would work wonders on Raw and SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
He would work wonders versus Roman. The problem is that NXT is about the indie darling. Mm-hmm. That's what they were billed as. That's what they are. They're counterculture. But they put him in NXT because he and Scarlett, despite being stars, they're not ready for that level of TV just yet. Yeah. So you put them in a place where after they're done shooting NXT, they go back to the Performance Center and they review. Whereas when you're on Raw and SmackDown, you kind of go home at the end of the night. Yeah. No one's sitting there saying, let's go rewatch the match.
You got to move on and just live with whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. But no, everyone can argue and sit here and say blah, blah, blah. No, Adam Cole was right. He's the better pro wrestler. But I'm not asking Karrion Kross to carry that match. That's why the other 5 guys were there. Yeah. Remember, Omos at WrestleMania. When you've got the New Day and you've got AJ Styles, Omos just has to be a big guy. Yeah. And he's going to look great because you got 3 dudes that are going to make him look phenomenal. Yeah. The ping pong ball off of him was genius. And by the way, that was the first real big man I'd seen in years.
Yeah, for sure.
Jim Cornette says it all the time. Just because a big man can do a top rope backflip, number one, doesn't mean he should. And number 2, if he does it, that should be your finish. Yeah. You shouldn't go 10 more minutes there, Paige. You shouldn't go 13 more minutes after. Like again, clock is ticking. No one gets that in AEW. Yeah. But no, this match was great. I loved it. I don't know if anyone else felt that. Look, again, Karrion played the role. We've gotten to a point where we wanted a 5-way of 5 Adam Coles. Well, that'd be boring because you need contract. Adam Cole can't be Adam Cole without Karrion Kross being Karrion Kross.
Like I said, I think overall, yes, his weakness showed because he's in there with 3 for sure.
It was Ciampa. That was the only thing this match was.
I mean, and like I said, when I say 3 guys, people are like, well, who's the guy you leave out? Right now, Kyle O'Reilly, because for NXT, we just haven't seen enough of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he's kind of capable of from his Ring of Honor days, but we don't know how much he's grown since he's been in NXT yet. We'll continue to watch the evolution.
Adam Cole's just been Adam Cole the whole time. Kyle O'Reilly's trying to find. Roddy will probably be back at some point. Yeah. I'm sure they're trying to find something for Roddy right now.
So did a little bit of to me it wasn't even a weakness. Like I told people, I think what you guys saw was in what would usually be a typical AEW championship match, where it would maybe be like Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne, or Johnny Gargano versus Kyle O'Reilly. It's usually these small guys.
And you mean NXT because you said AEW?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, an actual good championship match.
A real protected title.
Yes. These guys come up with their own ideas, and Triple H and Shawn just kind of I just need you to hit these beats, but I trust you to come up with how you're going to hit these beats.
Yeah.
Karrion is definitely more main roster. Listen, let's get your spot in here. Mm-hmm. Let's get some of that dominance. Yeah. Look tough, look mean.
Yeah.
You'll choke somebody out. We're done. We go home.
But there's a place for guys like that in wrestling.
Well, and like I said, Karrion is a main roster guy.
Oh yeah.
He'll be on Raw. He'll be a star. There's no doubt about it. Especially with that woman right next to him.
Oh.
she just looks phenomenal. I don't know if we'll actually ever see her wrestle in WWE. I'm starting to get the feeling we're not, because we haven't yet to see a match. But So I was explaining to people on Reddit, it's not that he was weak in the match.
Yeah.
It's just he's the guy that when he's not dominating, it feels like he doesn't fit in their faster pace that they're going to usually go.
But then again, remember, we're trying to hate the guy, which even this veteran NXT crowd, which is what I call this because a lot of people were
they gave him nothing.
Well, right.
I mean, they were dead for his entrance.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, they popped at a couple of
but he's also,
when he was powering around.
But he's also supposed to give a counter NXT culture. That's why he came in. That's why that's the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But my whole thing about this is just wrestling fans, it doesn't matter the crowd. ROH was the same way, I was there. NXT is the same way, I was there. The main roster is always territorial because in New York, they have to impress you. In Canada, you slam a chair on a ring post, the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
It's bizarre world. It just is what it is. But
they just love wrestling to love wrestling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's why they're like us.
I hope we get another 200.
But Jesse, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is just he's.
Well, I also didn't go off on Kenny Omega this week, so.
Luckily, Kenny didn't do much.
He didn't do anything.
He did.
He's never fucking. Sorry, continue.
Anyway.
I almost went off on a tangent. Please continue.
No, it's fine because here's the deal. I can't believe they botched Sami Callihan already, but that was worse than the Andrade botch. But we'll talk about that on another day. But anyway, no. Here's the deal. Cross would work on the main roster because territorial, he'd get a pop here and there, which is what a heel is supposed to do.
Yeah.
In NXT, no one's impressed by it because that's why nobody was impressed. And I don't think you were on the show yet when we talked about the Great American Bash. The lowest rated segment from the Bash, even though both nights it beat the AEW pay-per-view, was Thatcher versus Oney Lorcan. But that was a match you could have done back in the 60s and 70s, and everybody in the arena would have lost their damn mind.
That's because it's two hard-hitting ass dudes.
Right.
But they're not trying to fly around the ring. They're just going to fuck each other up.
But that was the match that I found myself actually twitching and cringing at because that was just a knockdown, punch you, drag out brawl.
Yeah.
NXT is an indie company within the WWE banner.
Yeah.
On the main roster, that match would have been 5 stars all day. It was a 3-star match in NXT because what could they have done in front of a crowd? And there wasn't much of a crowd back for the Bash, but they had something.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like the rating went down on television because you're not used to that on NXT. Right. And Jim Cornette even said, this was just out of place.
Yeah.
And it was. But again, Cross did his job. What is the issue here? And Cross is sticking to his guns. And look, Cross is being what he's supposed to be. We're not trying. Look. If Amos came out and started rolling around, it's impressive for WrestleMania. But then after that, what do you do with it? But no, he comes out and he plays the big man because that's what he is.
Yeah.
Okay, find a niche in wrestling, find your thing, and stick to it. And if you can't do it every night, if you can't, Goldberg, as much as you love or hate him, he said about his finisher. If you can't do the finisher on every guy on the roster, don't do the finisher. Shawn Michaels was perfect for the super kick because whether he took a big guy down to his knees or he just kicked the guy the same height as him, Shawn Michaels' finisher worked on everybody.
Well, yeah, which is why.
Also, Shawn can leg slap and no one can tell.
That's true.
Which is why the pedigree always looked like a great move.
Oh yeah, no, the pedigree was great.
Because even
the RKO, perfect.
Even with different sizes, you can just tell different guys how to take it. Like, hey, for like someone like the Big Show, hey, kick your leg out, jump with me. I'm gonna let your arms go so you can make it look a little worse going down.
And the other thing about it is the Batista bomb worked because Batista was strong enough to at least get a guy like Mark Henry high enough to where Mark could get his head tucked, and then he finished them. And Look, when he powerbombed Khali, it didn't look as impressive as when he powerbombed Rey Mysterio. But the move still looked effective enough together. So the thing about Cross is he's got MMA because we know he's a modern day big man, so he's agile.
Yeah.
He hits you hard in the back with an elbow that's going to knock your ass out.
Oh yeah.
Karrion Kross is exactly what I would want Karrion Kross to be.
Well, yeah.
The problem is everyone wants him to be Adam Cole. Adam Cole said in the promo, "You can't out-wrestle me." But Karrion Kross is not a wrestler; he's a brawler.
I think because people in the past in NXT have seen Keith Lee and and Dijakovic.
Yeah.
That I think they seem to think that every big man is supposed to be these big athletes that can still do big guy stuff, but sometimes a big guy is just a big guy.
Yeah.
And
Ultimate Warrior, anyone?
Keith Lee and Dijakovic and Damian Priest are different beasts.
Yeah.
As far as big guys, they're different animals. They can do more, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me like Roman Reigns can do the top rope dive over the thing.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me him just being a big brawler right now isn't more entertaining to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I love the new he literally smashes and he beats you. Nothing pretty about it.
And by the way, he chokes you out.
Yeah, it chokes you out.
Which is exactly what Cross does.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Roman and Karrion Kross mirror images in certain ways.
Yeah.
They're just it's just Roman's in the right place with the right guy, and Karrion's in the wrong place with the right woman.
Plus, Roman already has some cachet, which is good for
exactly.
him, so.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Was that it for In Your House?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, there was only 5 matches. Yeah.
Thoughts, ratings, beliefs.
Oh, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
It was a great show.
Me too. I loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And by the way, even the backstage segments were not overdone. They were not overplayed. No. They fit everything. They were funny. They were impressive. And by the way,
so funny.
And by the way, Dexter Loomis continues to not even have to wrestle and be one of the most interesting things happening.
That was a great segment.
I loved it so very much.
Like, I know people always get mad at the whole Dexter Loomis thing. Like, if you don't get it, fine. But don't tell me that it's like that we shouldn't watch it.
Came out for that fight.
Oh yeah.
Like touched their butt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He touched his butt. Like, the way he reacted, it does it. Right.
So we had a little fun with Willie. That was great, and I wouldn't trade that for anything because that was so much fun. Especially when he showed up in my apartment, I just was like, I haven't seen that motherfucker. But kind of circling back to the proper use of a big guy. Now back to the misuse of AEW on YouTube to get a little more delved because again we're all in the YouTube game here. Let's be honest here. You get main event on WWE, and by the way, folks, I don't care who you are, main event's great.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of just letting people do their thing. Jinder's actually looked pretty good.
Jinder's looked great on main event.
Oh, he's been great. But here's the deal. WWE doesn't have the amount of... Because, again, they don't do YouTube, they do Peacock. YouTube's free to everyone, Peacock is not.
Yeah.
But they're still doing more with just the Peacock shows than AEW is doing with all these YouTube shows. Yeah, and the reason why I want to circle back is because Karrion kind of catapults us to that, which is Karrion has always been what he is in NXT.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, why didn't you go to AEW? Because AEW wouldn't have any idea what to do with him.
No.
Because Karrion Kross came into Impact, he came in everywhere else and said, I'm here to beat you up.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's simple.
That's it.
That's it.
Brian Cage, despite Get My Shit In, he makes sense in AEW because I watched him in Lucha Underground.
He's a big guy who's very athletic. Once again, one of the freak hybrid guys we have around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just when you have that level of talent and you have all this time to cultivate it, and you still get a lesser product than WWE that only puts it on for 2 hours a week, what the hell are you doing?
Over 100 people on their roster.
Yeah.
And they don't use...
The biggest problem is, and Jesse, I think, was the first person to bring this up, you bring in Karrion Kross, and even though everyone kind of knew him from the Indies, they're trying to rebrand him. No one in AEW is saying we got to rebrand someone to make it our own. It's just come in, do what you already did on a spot show in the Indies, and then leave.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross is great. He's fantastic. And they're building him to what they want Karrion Kross to be, not Killer Kross. And yet I look at AEW and I look at, your boy Chucky T. Chucky has so much potential, but the problem is that
we're gonna get into this shit, aren't we?
They're not even using. No. They're not even using. Deep breath. They're not
trying to woosah myself.
Yeah. They're not even using. They're not even using PWG Chucky, so maybe that's a bad example. But when you look at most of the roster, these guys, nobody's trying to build into anything better. It's the most repeated thing in the business that nobody with the hopamine wants to hear. No one is a bigger star.
Yeah.
Than they already were.
Let me tell you the biggest problem with their misuse of their stuff on YouTube.
Not even the stuff on YouTube, but the time they have.
Let me tell you the biggest issue, because you know what? This is the one time I'm going to give Tony Khan an absolute pass, because every now and then he is trying for Dark Elevation.
Yeah.
The 4 other people that he has partnered himself with, and now I have to throw Cody in here, because he just will not take ownership.
No,
he will not tell his friends what they need to hear.
Friends is a very strong word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
strong
your
word.
3 supposed friends.
Acquaintance is probably
because
the better word to use.
Hangman Page was the only smart one to say, no, I just want to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
I just want to do
Here's the thing. Even though it's been funny watching Hangman Page, at least Hangman seems to be able to do what he wants when he wants. He doesn't have to get involved in hokey shit.
No.
He can do the hokey shit, but then he comes back to the serious shit.
Well, and then everything he does actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Hard concept.
And the original 3 of the fucking Elite cannot figure out to just tell a story. Just tell a story. Make it make sense. Like I said, every week now recently, I cannot believe I agree with Jim Cornette more and more and more every week. Three of these guys are not capable of doing this.
Who do you think was not booking? Because we all know who was booking.
Yeah.
Who do you think was the agent in New Japan for Okada Kenny?
Oh, it was Gato.
So Gato was booking it, and he was probably overseeing it.
He was probably overseeing the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he works with all the top talent in New Japan.
But Gato was at ringside for a lot of that, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Here's my role in this. You guys know how to put on a fucking excellent match, and New Japan is going to give you an hour to do it, because you guys are great. Okada, figure it out with Kenny. I'm guessing what used to happen is Okada put the damn thing together. And what are we getting out of this? How have we already told this story? Let's try to do
Here's
something.
the thing no one gets about Okada, because I think Okada always comes off stereotypical Japanese, and I say that in the sense
Okada is the Rock.
Right. But no,
Okada
that's my
is...
point. No, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Okay, when we think of a lot of great Japanese talent, stoic, even keel all the time, until it's time to really turn it up. Okada got what Inoki was. Okada got what Tanahashi was doing.
Well, and then here's the thing. Okada also,
Rock,
because of what happened with him in Impact,
yeah,
he also learned to understand, there's an entertainment side of this that maybe we don't practice a lot in New Japan. Now, they've done it a lot more in the last 15 years.
Well, they're trying to get into the U.S. market.
Yeah, but what he learned back in 2004 was, okay, there's an entertainment side to this that we actually need to start capitalizing on.
Do you think, going back to the misuse of extra time,
so yeah,
would Okada go to Strong?
Yeah.
Would he work Strong consistently, you think?
I think if they told him, hey, we actually have a story idea to kind of go work with some of these American/Canadian wrestlers for you.
Yeah. We're
wondering if you'd be willing to kind of maybe partially live in the States for a short time.
Is he a no guy? Would he ever say no, or do you think he'd try to make it work?
I think he would say no to some. I've been told in the past he has said no to stuff if he feels like it doesn't fit the story he's trying to tell.
Okay.
But that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Hey, Gato had this idea, and then he goes, Gato, let's try to refurbish that, because for the story we got, Gato, that feels like it could be a bit too much.
Can you imagine Okada walking into a room, sitting down with Tony Khan, and it's just Tony because the rest of the EVPs won't be in the same room together?
That's true, yeah.
Kenny and the Bucks are off doing whatever they are doing for their being the elite crap. Cody's obviously working the Nightmare Factory. So it's just him and Tony Khan. And Tony is talking to him, explaining what's going on. And then every 5 seconds, Tony's looking down at his phone. Because that's how they book this shit, we found out. Can you imagine Okada going from the professionalism and the workman craftsmanship of Gato to sit in a room with Tony Khan?
He would rather deal with Vince McMahon, because Vince deals in meetings. Gato deals in meetings.
Yes.
There is no tech shit. Hey, I need you guys here at this time so we can figure out how we're going to book the show.
If you think the Elite would get away with filming the YouTube show during a booking set. By the way, when you watch Being the Elite, I almost guarantee half the time when they're looking down at their phones, they're probably booking Dynamite. Am I wrong? They're probably booking Dynamite on this shit.
They probably are.
Like, listen, there's a lot of things where Jim Cornette and Brian Last and Brian Alvarez, they'll say shit, and I'm like, you guys are just old guys who don't want to try to get this new shit.
There's a lot there, yeah.
But when it comes to this shit, I've watched. because I was the guy. Because you were like I said originally. Zach was the bigger fan of all these people. When I first heard of AEW and they did the press conference, I'm like, you're shooting your shot at the biggest fucking shark in the river, and you better have a goddamn bazooka, because if you come out flat, he's still going to bury you without even trying.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's why he gave them the C show. He gave them the C show.
What he considers to me, what would have been even more insulting, because they felt insulted by that, but what would have been insulting if he would have been like, we're going to just throw 205 live on Wednesdays for like an hour.
People don't realize, at its peak, when Drake Maverick was the
205 Live was way better.
205 was one of the most watchable hours of TV that there was.
So it's one of those things. I watched the show, and I don't lie. It's getting to me because the problem is while there's good stuff on Dynamite at times, it's so frantic. It's actually harder sometimes to watch than Raw. Because Raw will just bore you for 3 hours at times.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, okay, this is the same shit you guys did last week. I'm going to go take a dump. Because when I watch the highlights, it'll be almost the same thing, copy and paste from last week.
Yeah.
But these guys are so frantic. Like, they'll do something will happen, moving on to the next thing.
But where we do the Mox Box rule, which is we just kind of skip over the match because there's not a lot to talk about, because it was just a good match.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette will do the whole, and they went 1,000 miles an hour, and they did a bunch of moves, and nothing registered. People want to look at me and say that I'm nitpicking because that makes the show more interesting. No, I visually can't get over all the things. Like, okay, when I brought up Aubrey's makeup, visually it didn't make sense. No. If she worked that whole night, if she was running through the damn stadium, the makeup shouldn't have been perfect. Yeah. That is one of those things that, here's the deal. You notice it, but because of the dopamine, you don't want to talk about it. So going back to the misuse, Dark has separated itself even in the own AEW community chats, it separated itself as almost the better, more consistent show, and in reality, it's just a lot of stuff copy and pasted as a training video.
And it's just a lot of matches. And then they're good.
Well, yeah.
And they're good. I think you said you had a chance to kind of check out one.
I was watching,
he always watches when Top Flight's on there.
And I'm like,
And I mean, like I said, I think the matches are good. Here's the thing on Dark that they stopped doing, and I don't know why. Maybe they've actually heard the podcast. I don't know. But they actually, like I said, they used to start story beats on Dark.
Yeah.
A lot of what was going on with, like, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker was actually happening on Dark.
Which, by the way, they only alluded to in the video package before the lights out unsanctioned match, which apparently was not only to try to get 5 stars out of Meltzer, and he only gave it 4.5 because he can't give a 5-star match where they said, hey, let's get a 5-star match. Once again, boys, don't put the footage out the day after the match. And number 2, you did a little too much. And number 3, you can't call yourself a hardcore legend because Mick Foley wasn't a hardcore legend because of one night. He was a hardcore legend because of, I don't know, working with Oneida, working with Terry Funk, working all these territories, doing things that nobody else was doing bump-wise. How about the Edge match was probably the 85th thing he'd done in his career that was at that level.
The whole Best Friends versus Miro and Kip, I almost forgot his fucking name.
I wish I could.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Started on Dark.
Yeah.
People don't know that because I'm one of 50,000 that actually watch it every week. 50,000.
Which is impressive for a YouTube clip.
Basically.
I'm sorry. Raw's clips get at least 1 million.
Yep.
So that means you're not even getting a percentage
of
what they get in clips.
And that's another reason why I think people need to understand the ratings on Raw would be probably more of an issue if the loss in revenue, which isn't really there, wasn't being compensated by the YouTube money.
Yeah.
People don't get it. WWE is just like Markiplier. They're making money off YouTube.
Yeah.
Vince just didn't understand Twitch because they had nothing to do with Twitch. YouTube was just the free service that everybody was on, and all of a sudden profit sharing came in when Google purchased it, and all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, one 30-second clip gets us 1.6 million views. That's like, what, $10? Maybe $100.
And they're the 3rd most subscribed channel in all of YouTube. Listen, it's one of those things. They have no concept of consistency.
No.
Period. Like Jim doesn't even need to roast them. Like, just say they have no concept of consistency.
Yeah.
And I'm done with it.
For the first time in a while, we're gonna have to have Eric on, and we're not gonna have a therapy session with Eric, although it was a great show. We're going to have to sit here, and we're going to have to discuss open and honestly. Look me in the eye and explain to me why this is good to you when, quote, you would never book the way they book. Mm-hmm. I've seen Heavy on Wrestling. 4 or 5 shows a year, doesn't matter. It fucking makes sense.
Well, yeah, they keep the story keeps going.
Now, Eric has said he tried his damnedest to get away from every Heavy On season ending with Eric Cannon versus Darren Corbin, but they are stars in Minnesota. It's a local promotion. I get it why Heavy On goes there, but I just want to look Eric in the face and be honest and say to him, I watched this. Not that I want to, but I watched this. I don't see anything in there that you would let fly. I don't see anything in this that, based on what I've watched you book, what I've heard you say about wrestling, I don't understand how you look at this and you say, look at the positives, because there's so few of it. And that's not me being mean. There's so few of it because it's so sporadic. Yeah. Even when you have a positive on Dark, you shit on it on Dynamite by saying it doesn't exist. You finally broke up Sonny Kiss from that idiot Joey Janela, and you don't even freaking consistently tell me it's a thing.
That's amazing. I didn't even know you actually knew about that.
Well, he told us 2 weeks ago.
No, it officially happened this past week. Sonny was like, Sonny was like, you haven't helped me. I'm done with you. So it officially happened this week.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know what I told you 2 weeks ago.
But
2 weeks ago, they didn't even follow up on what they did 2 weeks ago.
Proves that, sadly, again, I watched this shit.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's even more embarrassing? All right. We only have 12 cards today. I'm throwing in a 13th, Spot Monkey Abyss, randomly, because you want to know who's finally in it, and after this week, it was embarrassing. And sorry, Gene, for throw the match out, because the consistent storytelling was the problem. Darby Allin is now in the Spot Monkey Abyss.
Yeah.
Because that match was a good match because you had 3 decent workers in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I bring all of them down to decent because I think they're great when they do their own stuff. All together, it's a weird mesh, but it's not bad.
It's about to say, it's been interesting.
Yeah. But here's the deal. That match buried all 3 of them based on what they've been doing for the last 3 months. It killed all the momentum that they had. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Sting wasn't there, number 1. Number 2, Darby needed to lose because he's so good at getting sympathy. If he wins, the sympathy's out the window.
Yep.
What's the number 1 rule in sports? And the Jets fans sadly know this better than anybody. A win's a win. Doesn't matter how ugly it was to get there.
You get it, you fucking take it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys lost out on Trevor Lawrence because of that, but that was Sam Darnold's last middle finger to the Jets before he walked out the door.
Fuck this team, I'm getting me some wins. I gotta make my tape look good, bro.
Can you blame him?
No.
But no, it's just, again, the visual of a win's a win means nothing. The Milwaukee Bucks looked awful in that series, but they beat the most powerful super team of all time. So a win's a win. Yeah. So I don't remember the bad games they had in that series.
Yeah.
I don't remember that before Kyrie went out and before James Harden was in out of the lineup, they were just getting wiped off the goddamn floor. I'm like, this is going to be a sweep.
Yeah.
And then it goes 7 games into overtime, and it's like, well, Durant, you're not who you think you are, but we'll discuss that on Jason. But it's just, Darby needed to lose. Darby Allin needs to pull a Seth Rollins as champion. And here's what I mean.
Oh, Darby Allin won that match, huh?
Pretty sure.
I'll look it up quick, but I gotta be honest.
I thought Darby won.
I completely missed that fucking match. You wanna know why?
Oh, that's alright.
Because I was driving, so I got my own personal DVR now because I'm sorry, cable companies, you charge too much for the service. And
no. I'm sorry. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky didn't win. But here's the thing. The clips that you showed me on your Facebook was of Darby dominating. Darby Allin needs to be.
I heard that.
Yeah. Darby Allin needs to be the Seth Rollins when Seth had the first belt run, because Seth lost every match on television and then won on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But folks, Darby, and I hate to say it, as much as I like Darby, he shouldn't look good in a handicap situation, only because it's his own fault, because he sells the freaking sympathy thing way too well.
Yeah.
You don't understand. And by the way, Darby looked sympathetic throughout this whole storyline. Then he and Sting win, which shouldn't have happened, but anyway. But now you're going back.
They were in front of fans. Sting was going to get a W.
Yeah, but Jesse, the consistency's just not there.
No.
Darby losing in a handicap match,
Yeah.
and why we're having a handicap match before we see what they should have done is we talked to Willie about booking. Willie did a great job booking. But the handicap match should have been 2 weeks before Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I've already seen the tag match.
Yeah.
I don't need to see this again. Why? Okay, Double or Nothing. It doesn't matter if it was Double or Nothing. It doesn't matter if it was No Mercy. It doesn't matter if it was Judgment Day. Sometimes feuds ended.
Yeah.
Sometimes they continued.
Yeah.
It's like American Idol. There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes the industry's right. Sometimes it's wrong.
Yeah.
More times than right, though, it's right. So why did Double or Nothing end no feuds? Zero.
Well, to be fair.
The consistency.
To be fair, what they did was they took the women's championship off the woman who was trying to carry the company through a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys gave her shit through the pandemic, but the woman did her best.
And why did she get a new gimmick? Was the new gimmick for Shida on Dynamite, or was that on Dark?
That was on Dark Elevation.
Okay, so once again, you take the woman who you gave a brand new belt
Made her
to.
cut her hair. Well, maybe she decided to cut her hair, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to do a new gimmick?" She didn't need to do a new gimmick. She was a very good dominant champion.
But my point is just the consistency of, okay, so this woman carries this awful division through a pandemic, and then out of nowhere,
I still can't believe Penelope Ford was back on my fucking TV.
Oh God.
Like, I don't mind her on my computer screen, because I look at a lot of women who look like her on my computer screen. Sometimes they have no clothes on, but I look at a lot of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Carlos pit stuff.
No.
But in a wrestling ring,
but just
with a young girl who's still trying to kind of learn the business, Julia, who's from Bloomington, you're beautiful, sweetie, you're gonna get the business. You're just young. Scream.
Yeah.
Did you need to have the squash match? There's others.
Why wasn't that on Elevation?
Oh no.
Why wasn't that just on Elevation?
Like so. Because that was one of the like I said, I didn't actually get to see the Darby thing. I just saw the highlight.
Yeah.
Because I watched that shit, and then I watched this fucking idiot Miro, who, by the way, was just cutting a promo on Dark Elevation about the next time he sees Kip or her, there would be a problem.
Pause before you continue. Have you noticed that even though people who are listening right now are wondering why are we going back to AEW? But here's the deal. It fits with the whole inconsistency.
Yes, it does.
And at the same point, we're constantly having to branch out. For those of you, no spoiler from the Loki show, we're having to branch off of our actual timeline.
Damn good show so far.
So
Yeah.
we're like, okay, but the branching is coming from the fact that every time we start talking about something, there's an inconsistency.
Yeah.
That brings it up that, again, you have all this TV time, all this YouTube time, and you can't get a consistent story anywhere?
It's ridiculous.
But going back to, now, okay, to tie it back in so people don't think we just jumped just to make fun of AEW for a third time, because, again, they do it enough for us.
We don't do this on purpose.
Back to Cross and NXT. It's consistent.
Yeah, with his character.
Yep.
The way he won the match is consistent.
All of
with his
NXT is
character.
consistent. Even if it's a story that was gone for 3 weeks, it's like, well, you picked it right where you left off. Ever Rise is the most sporadic thing, but the consistency of Ever Rise is just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this.
It's just, I mean, for crying out loud, The Miz gets hurt for the first time in his career.
And he still shows up to Raw to do like a partial character, like.
But it's like even he's got more consistency than Dark Elevation. So Jesse, you're the guy who follows Dark Elevation.
Yep.
You're proud of what it could be.
Yeah.
You're proud of some of the things it's
Well,
done.
I have what you call the hopium on what it could be.
Hopamine.
Or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm stupid for doing it. But,
yeah,
it's some good stuff. I know a dealer.
But anyway, to finish up.
I need to go to rehab for it.
But anyway, to finish this up, because we're going to get to our last two quick things here in a sec. But to finish up.
Yeah, hurry up. No. Hurry up.
The consistency of not being able to use what WWE has, but is not as readily available.
Yeah.
The fact that Cross has been the same thing from the moment he walked into NXT to right now to what will probably be on the main roster. It's just, how many more times are we going to sit here and have the same discussion about you? And here's the deal. Eric can sit here and say, well, do you think that they should stop doing Dark Elevation? No, I don't think that.
No,
but the problem is that I need more than the ESPN ticker at the bottom, bro.
Yeah.
They
don't care to bring it up on Dynamite ever.
Well, they do, but Excalibur mentions it for like 2 seconds, and then we're done. All right. Last two quick things here. Number one, we want to wish a lot of love and hopefully a recovery to Don West, who is dealing with a current issue right now. Leroy, you had that for us.
Yeah, he's dealing. Now he has some brain cancer.
Been there, done that. So literally, I've been there, done that.
So we'll pray for him that he makes it through.
Enjoyed him. Don and Mike Tenay, some of the best chemistry in a booth I ever saw.
Oh yeah. They were awesome.
Before Hogan, before Kevin Nash, it's amazing. The same people that almost fucking ruined WCW. Before they got to TNA, there was a point in time where you can turn on TNA, whether it was on FSN or Spike. Or Spike, or you find the replays on early YouTube television. Because people would tape it and then put it on there. There was a time where you would watch TNA and you'd be like, damn, this is actually better than WWE. Like, it was so good.
And Don's calls on some of the biggest X Division matches were...
Oh, God, yes. They were awesome.
Don and Mike were the first pairing where there was no color, there was no play-by-play, it was just two guys, and for some reason, it worked.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I wanted them on everything, but a quick note to announcers. Once again, Pat McAfee, don't ever change. Standing during the Shinsuke thing, standing with the two phones on the left. Pat McAfee, don't ever change who you are.
Oh God, I love that.
Well, and like I said,
he's getting paid too much to change.
Like I said before, if Vince don't like it, Pat's making plenty of money doing this other stuff. You don't care.
Here's the deal. Pat's one of the few guys that is there out of respect for the business.
Yeah.
He's not there for a paycheck because Pat don't.
And it just makes SmackDown so much better.
Jimmy's not doing bad on Raw. Jimmy's a better pick.
Well, Jimmy's a better play-by-play guy
than Adnan.
Like I said, they had a really great one and they let her go for some reason. But
I think no offense to anyone at WWE, I think she got out before the shitstorm was
probably. But he's doing really good because it allows the baby face heel commentator thing to work a bit better.
Yeah.
But Pat's on a whole nother level because of the energy. When Roman's shouting at him, call me the baddest man, and he looks over at Michael Cole, and they show a clip. He's like, he's the baddest man in wrestling.
That's great.
You heard the man. Pat's great.
All the love to Don. We hope that you're going to be okay.
Yes.
We hope for any recovery at all.
Absolutely.
Tonight, it is WWE Hell in a Cell minus Roman Reigns versus James here. Now, let me defend that for 2 seconds.
You can defend it. It's still confusing.
It was confusing, but I guarantee you that Paul had a hand in that because how many matches were supposed to be in a Hell in a Cell?
I think 4 or 5.
Okay, 3 or 4 or 5.
And to be honest, some of the matches they've changed, I don't even think they're going to be inside Hell in a Cell anymore.
Right, but here's my point.
Only having a couple.
Paul is a master of manipulation. You can't. One of the biggest problems with last year's Hell in a Cell was Sasha versus Bayley. Not the match, but it was that they did all like there was nothing you could do in the later rounds that wasn't already seen in Sasha versus Bayley. I guarantee Paul sat there and he had something to do with it, and he probably said, "Let's get a virgin cage. No one else has been in it. Nothing else has been done. Now they all have to kind of follow us because it's still in the back of your mind." Mm-hmm. And also, Jesse brought up a good point. It fits with if Roman's not going to be the main event, why should Roman show up?
I think overall it was a Vince move. I think probably what happened was he saw like, wait a minute, I have 4 or 5 Hell in a Cell matches on Hell in a Cell. It makes no fucking sense.
I guarantee
I might as well not even lift the fucking thing up.
But I guarantee Paul probably sat there and suggested the Roman and Ray match be the one that comes off because Paul probably wanted it.
Well, and then the story itself, there was no reason for that to be on pay-per-view. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm spaghetti tonight.
Yeah, maybe I should stay at your house.
No, that's what I'm cooking. All right. So,
you both
you
have
have
the same thing.
I know, right?
All right. Well, the undercards we're going to have here basically are we got Cesaro and Seth Rollins.
Wow.
They're going to do their Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Let them fight forever. I don't care. They are always great. It's always going to be fun. It's always going to be energetic. Let them fight forever.
So
I don't care.
Do they have labeled which matches are in Hell in a Cell then?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
We have Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. That's going to be interesting.
This one makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous, but here's the deal. It's 2 women that I think can pull off anything you give them, but don't overproduce it.
Like I said, it makes me nervous.
Then we go into the championship match.
Yeah.
First one, it's going to be in Hell in a Cell, but it's the EST, Bianca Belair against Bayley.
Yeah.
That's going to be a Hell in a Cell match. Then
Bayley's probably going to call that a little more than Bianca, not just from a perspective of how long they've been there, but because Bayley's been in that thing a couple of times.
And Bayley's not going to win.
No,
I don't think so. No.
But here's the deal. Why should Bayley win when Bianca is not reached the peak yet?
I was just saying that as a matter of fact. Bayley's not going to win. Yeah. There's some people who ask, do you think she's going to win? I'm like, no. I'm like, Bianca Belair's like the hottest new champion they have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got to
they're not taking that off.
All right, then we have the Raw's.
No, Becky coming back soon.
With Rhea, the champ, versus Charlotte Flair. Just a regular match, not going to be in Hell in a Cell.
Don't give a shit. This is the only match in the card I do not give a shit about.
All right.
Because whether Charlotte wins or not, this has been a waste of time. They butchered Rhea Ripley, which I can't believe he did, because he did a great job with her when they did the NXT match last year.
Yeah.
God.
WWE Championship.
It's the most AEW thing in WWE.
Hell in a Cell match between Bobby and Drew, where it is the last chance. If Drew does not win,
the fact that
he does not get a chance again.
The fact that they put
Bobby Lashley's champion.
Yeah, but Bobby, he's gonna win it.
The fact that they put that stipulation in tells me Bobby's winning.
Yep.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with.
I figured Bobby would win because they got to get somebody else.
Plus the fact that they moved Brock back to the active roster, like all the moves have kind of set up like.
Well, yeah,
SummerSlam apparently.
And by the way, to all of you out there who hate Raw, you watch when Brock's on, so shut up.
Was it rumor is Cena is coming back
to face Roman,
and then Brock to face Bobby.
Well, interestingly enough, though, guess who returns before SummerSlam as well?
Oh,
The Fiend.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly. They have so apparently there was the rumored date for Raw, but there's also a rumored date for SmackDown. So, if Cena's returning,
they're bringing the Fiend back. They're bringing Edge back.
Well, because
I just want Bray to be okay. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Yes. Okay. Here's the deal. Jesse, you want to bet. We had a good laugh, but the sad part about it is that I just want Bray to be okay.
Well, I want him to be okay.
Yeah.
I
hope he dealt with whatever
his
deal with.
His life and his health itself matters more to me, no doubt.
Yeah.
I just thought that they butchered the shit out of that match, regardless if they knew he was leaving or not. That's all.
Well, it also depends on how into it he was. I mean, you combine the fact that you just lost basically a brother,
and maybe him and Randy weren't really into the feud because of everything they're both going through. Randy understanding like maybe both guys aren't really into this.
Yeah. So
but otherwise, just throwing that out there. Yeah. Cena has also talked about, well, I won't be just coming back as green shirt wearing Cena when I do come back. So there we go.
All right.
But Bobby Lashley's probably winning. Rhea and Charlotte has been the most AEW thing I've seen on. Like, it almost feels like Vince was like, "Hey, we've been fucking up on Raw. Kenny, do you have any ideas?" And then like And then Bruce isn't great with women's wrestling, never has been. So like now, like maybe they have a working relationship, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just do Rhea and Charlotte all together.
Maybe Vince is actually doing what they did with Rhea.
Have you ever seen a pull apart brawl that fucking bores you?
No.
That bored me. I'm like, this is boring. Who cares?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
All right.
But everyone, let's enjoy the show tonight.
It. Hey, well, no. Before we go,
sorry.
I want to give some birthday shout outs.
Okay.
Oh, what?
And
or what? Okay.
You got some birthdays?
Birthdays.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let's do a couple of birthdays.
Let's do a couple.
Just
we got Jessica Cricks, otherwise known as Jessica Havoc.
Okay.
35.
Also, congratulations to her because her and Sammy just got engaged.
There we go.
Nice. Fantastic.
And
breaking news from us.
And it is
Not really.
the 43rd birthday of Quentin Rampage Jackson. His birthday today.
Yeah.
And
43.
Yeah.
43.
Sadly, he was ruined by a bad TNA run.
Yeah.
There we go. And then a good old Hall of Famer, Coco Beware.
Ah, Coco.
Is
AB's
64.
favorite, and I say that with all the
today.
dripping sarcasm.
He
All
is
right.
64.
All right. Well, for actually some good birthdays in there.
Yeah, I saw that was kind of neat.
Yeah. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the show tonight. It was a great show. Kind of got off the rails, but hey, once in a while you got to have a little fun to mess with my co-host here. Totally worth
Willie
it.
is always a joy.
It was so worth it.
Yeah,
I was so happy
totally
to
worth
see
it.
him,
So anyway, love you guys all. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We're at 53 subs now.
All right.
53
I'm
subs.
hoping 50 more at least.
There we go. All right.
47. I guess.
I'll be harassing you all. You guys don't know it yet, but I'll be harassing you. Come subscribe.
And Jesse's
All right.
and Jesse, for those of you who don't know, has made it his personal goal to make sure we are the #1 podcast on Podomatic.
Also, tonight, sometime after Hell in a Cell, look out for the second of Jay's Take Wrestling Take on the channel.
Yep.
All right,
I did a combined one for NXT and SmackDown.
Yep. All right. Oh, all right.
That would
Fantastic.
be great. Yeah.
Well, anyway, from all of us here, like and subscribe. We're also on, of course, iTunes, Spotify, and thank you all so very much. We'll see you guys next week when we will have Eric on the show.
All right.
Fun stuff.
All right. So the reason why I was kind of doing this is, like I said, we've done a day in wrestling history like 3 weeks in a row, and I want that to be not a recurring segment, but something that we bring back once in a while for like just kind of fun stuff.
Cool for me.
You know.
Well, that's the other thing was getting long. It's like, we got some birthdays.
But no, So Jesse, all we're expecting of you is 50. That's not a big deal. Leroy, are you gonna be able to have your money for next week?
Yes.
You gonna have your 100?
Well,